I just wanna live and dream, but nothing is as what it seems. And baby, it's making me crazy. I just wanna fight and scream. There's nothing left for me to say. Fear shot to defeat the day. I know that I can control it, so it doesn't have to be this way.
I'm really sick of living, stuck and trapped in the system. You're just a brick in the wall, and I got my back up against it. I represent the resistance, they want me back up in prison. But I'm the master of my path, and I won't slack on my mission. You're lacking the vision, so I'm just gonna cut to the chase. They hide the truth in plain view, right in front of your face. I used to think the world was normal, but that wasn't the case. We're just some goyim on a hamster wheel, running in place. Turn up the bass, I grab the microphone, and all I do is rock it. This little light of mine, I let it shine, and you can't stop it. But there's nothing these corporations just won't do for profit. This fake ass world that we live in is sick, it's truly toxic. If you don't see it that way, okay, then keep talking. Don't bump into that wall while you're sleepwalking. The alarm is going off, I hear it beep often. I'm at the double doors of truth, I'm gonna keep knocking.
I just want to live and dream, but nothing is as what it seems. And baby, it's making me crazy. I just want to fight and scream. There's nothing left for me to say. Fear shot to defeat the day. I know that I can control it, so it doesn't have to be this way.
I refuse to just go quietly into the night. There's forces of darkness at work and they're restricting the lights. I'm so fed up with the lies they tell us this isn't right. It's ODD TV, you best believe I'll get up and fight. This is my plight, I'll never let you cowards get the best of me. Took the red pill, now it's time to fulfill my destiny. Living like I'm Neo, dipping from my P.O. Tripping on me cause I am the one and he's a zero. Hot like a jalapeno, bringing heat that you just can't avoid. I call out bullshit and lies, they call me paranoid. People are just foolish, full of hate, they get angry. Point out the truth about reality, they label you crazy. Just a glitch in the system, you're a critical thinker. And no, they don't want that. Fuck them, give them the finger. I do it every single day with each and everything I say. I'm not living like a victim, it doesn't have to be this way.
I just wanna live and dream, but nothing is as what it seems. And baby, it's making me crazy. I just wanna fight and scream. There's nothing left for me to say. Fear shot to defeat the day. I know that I can control it, so it doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. Doesn't have to be this way.
All right. What's going on, everyone? Steve J and Mo. It is the 19th of July in the year 2020. And today, I'm not too sure we're going to be going over probably the signs of the times and, you know, just so many crazy things have been happening the past couple days. You have Comet Neo-Wise and all this other baloney, but I got Bobby Stevens and the Truth Seeker 69. What's up, guys?
What up with it?
I'm chilling.
Chilling like a villain.
Oh, I wish I was actually like chilling. It's like 98 degrees here in Massachusetts. It's a great day to be alive.
And most viruses and fungi, die within 80 degrees. So yeah, we're good.
It's going to be 97 here today.
Wow, that's ridiculous, man.
Yep.
So they tell you to stay indoors and don't go outside. That's bad for you. You should go outside, get plenty of sunshine, and just let the heat do its job, because this is why people get sick in the fall and in the spring, because it's at that temperature right there where fungi and different bacteria start to grow again, and it thrives. And this is how we get infections. We start getting chest infections, sinus infections. These infections are mostly fungal and bacterial. So the whole virus thing's out the window. And the last thing people should be doing is staying indoors or walking around outside with a mask on and breathing in your own CO2, because you're only going to make your blood acidic, and then you will be sick.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's just so funny how, like, wasn't it the CDC that says, like, that in the beginning, like 84 degrees, virus goes bye-bye? Was that them or is that WHO? I don't know which one it was, but one of those losers, they said that.
I think it was the CDC, but yes, it's 80, 84 degrees. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's been 100. My aunt just said it's 107 in Florida. It's 100 degrees here. It's 97 where you're at. So, you know what I mean? Hey, we're all good. What's going on here? Clearly something else is going on where we've completely been hijacked. And
yeah, we have. And, I mean, some of the positive things we could take from this is it's been an opportunity for people who weren't awake before to get a taste of what the fuck we've been saying for the past, you've been saying it for 10 years. I've been saying it for 5 years. Bobby, actually, I don't know how long you've been saying it, but I'll give you the 7-year mark. I have no idea, but it's just crazy, man. It's crazy. Like how so many things have come out into the open since March, February, whatever.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous, dude. And they don't even care. They run a coronavirus simulation and then they release the coronavirus. Like, that was it for me. They could have showed bodies and death certificates and I would have been, nah, dude. Like, nah, because still, it's just so many contradictory things that these people say. They just step on their own dick so many times.
And now they're going back to the whole narrative of the way it was back in April and May. The hospitals are overwhelmed. The people are just pouring in. The lines are so long to get tested. There's so many, positive tests now and everything. The numbers are going way up. So they're just, rehashing that and hitting autoplay. And everybody's going to follow suit. This is the whole reason why we saw, the whole Black Lives Matter thing took off right before 4th of July, the month before. And then that led us into the 4th of July, which everybody was just sick of everything. And everybody went outside. I showed you what Florida looked like, how Fort Myers Beach was packed and it was 107 on the beach. So, and South Florida is not somewhere you actually want to be in the summertime because it's just putrid hot. But you saw how packed it was at that beach. And then now, as soon as right after 4th of July, and I had even said it right before 4th of July, they're going to ramp these numbers up as soon as they get over 4th of July, get some more money circulated through the economy, because, even Walmart had both their doors open, and now they shut them back down right after 4th of July and started rolling the numbers back up. So now you have to filter into one door again, like sheep. And so they stimulated the economy a little bit. They wanted people to go out and purchase. And of course, all the purchases are being made at the big corporations because all the smaller ones and mom and pop stores are closed down. So there's that. So yeah, they're very diabolical in their plans, and they're very predictable at this point. So
yeah, it is. And I don't know if anyone knew or not, but I went up to Cape Cod, to Hyannis, or I don't even know where I was, for a couple of days, for like 2 days. And I went there, like a month and a half, 2 months ago? I can't really remember, but something like that.
Yeah.
And see, back then in June, or maybe the end of May, there was no one up there. Like, it was a ghost town. I go up there now, the streets are flooded with people, but they're all wearing masks. All the kids, all the husbands, the adults, whatever. I was like, wow, dude.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I didn't. I just didn't go in anywhere. You know, like you could walk up to windows fine, but I'm like, I'm not going into a restaurant if I have to, because the stupid thing is you got to put it on to get into the restaurant. But once you get to your table, the coronavirus, it's impenetrable to the table. Yeah, it's weird. It's
The same
weird,
thing
dude.
on the plane. They gave me hell for not wearing a mask on the plane. Yet 10 minutes after we took off, the seatbelt sign goes off and they start coming down the aisle handing out chips and waters to everybody. So I'm just staring out the window because I don't want to even look at these people the way they tried to humiliate me on this plane. All I hear is chomp, 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 slurp, slurp, slurp. I look over, everybody's pulling their mask down, chomping away, drinking their drinks, and then pulling their mask back up. I'm like, do you not see the ridiculousness of this situation yet? Everybody's giving me the stink eye because I don't have a mask on. The lady's like ready to drag me off the plane if I don't put it over my face. And yet you're all sitting here on a tube, a plane, it's just a tube, locked in, and, mask down, mask up. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous.
Mask on, mask off. You love it. It's crazy, crazy.
Yeah, none of it makes sense. And that's where we've gone into Lucifer's world does not make sense. Lucifer's world is inverted. So everything that we considered normal, now this is the new normal, which is completely backwards and upside down and completely unsanitary. Lucifer's world completely fucking sucks. And, the one natural thing that we do that's God given to us that we don't even think about doing is breathing. And they're trying to take that away from us. They figured out a way how to charge for air. Here's a $500 fine for not wearing a mask. You know what I mean? They're charging you $500 to breathe air.
Isn't that ridiculous? And the fact that we're like, I know I keep saying this, but we're like, what, 65, 70% water, and yet we have to go buy the $2.99 bottle of water at the store? Like, how ridiculous is that, bro?
Water and air are the two basic things that life needs to survive, okay? And they've already, toxified and taken away and charged us for water. Okay. And now they're trying to do the same thing with the air. Also, they're getting you to commit willful suicide and kill your kids at the same time. Albeit it might be a slow suicide, but, I'm hearing a lot of people doing stupid stuff after wearing this mask all day long, like, driving off the side of the road, just making poor decisions and all that. And that's what that does to you. It gives you poor judgment. You can't think clearly. You can't make a rational decision when you don't have the right oxygen to your fucking brain.
Of course, imagine like the construction workers that have to wear it all day. Then they're driving home after, a 98-degree day like today. Like, yeah, their judgment's probably going to be cloudy. And it's just really funny how like everyone that I do encounter that like, oh, I have to wear it for this, or I just wore it for a couple hours here. Every single one of them is like, wow, I have a blistering headache. I got veins popping out the side of my head. I'm like, that's because you're working your face out. Let's put it that way. It's like it's crazy.
You tie that in with all the people who already have pre-existing conditions like asthma or anything with, lung damage. I know people who've had collapsed lungs and stuff. So once you heal from a collapsed lung, you have issues. There are people with upper respiratory issues that never seem to go away. There's people who have heart issues. Maybe they're overweight, which around here, everybody's overweight. It's like, mandatory to be overweight in this state for some reason.
Well, when McDonald's is, 2 for $1 cheeseburgers and
and got 3 lanes in the drive-through.
Yeah, exactly. And the organic beef at the store is like what, like $7.99 a pound? Like, what do you think people are going to buy?
Yeah. So check this out. I go into the Dollar General. This was a couple weeks ago. And as soon as I walk in and there's nobody in there, I hear the lady yell at me, "You need a mask to come in here." I said, "I'm good. I have a medical condition." And I just walked straight to the back. I got paper towels and walked straight back up because Walmart didn't have paper towels. They were out of everything. I had to go to the store. So I get up to the counter. She's got her mask right here, not over her nose, right here. She's like, why don't you have a mask on? I said, I have a medical condition. And then she says to me, well, then you should be wearing one more than anybody else. I said, oh, so you're just doing this on the side to make extra money? You're actually really a doctor? You know what I mean? Like, what are you trying to say here, lady? And by the way, your mask is below your nose. So basically you're wearing a muzzle. Why don't you just take it off? And she gave me my change and snickered at me and I walked out. And then today when I went to the Dollar Tree, I took a picture of it. They have a sign on the door that says you need a mask to enter, which I just walked right in, shopped, and got my stuff. Nobody said anything. And when I left out, I took a picture of the sign. It's just so ridiculous. But people do what they're told. They're doing what they're told on televised vision. And then, all the signs and the cues and everything everywhere, which it's interesting that you have the whole cue thing that people are doing. And now people are being cued to go into stores and step up to this line and this line.
Oh, yeah. It all fits together. It's all part of the plan. Trust the plan. Drain the swamp. It's ridiculous, dude. The shit these people push, it's so crazy. And there's still people that suck on the nuts of the left and the right system. It's crazy, dude. It really is. I'm like, it's the same person, just in a different suit every other day, It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. But
you know what, dude?
What's up, Bobby?
I think, speaking of the left, right, I have this feeling that with all this pedophilia coming out, everyone's talking about it now, and I keep seeing it every day. I see 3 articles a day where Trump is doing something where it's like, quote, bad for his campaign. Today he defended the Confederate flag. He keeps sending out these military people that beat people up in these streets, and I think Biden's going to win, and I think that pedophilia is the last straw.
Well, it's like Steve says, it's the externalization of the hierarchy, and the hierarchy are pedophiles. So they have to bring out these stories. Like Pizzagate was out, what was it, almost 2 years ago now. The Pizzagate thing really took off. Even though it's bad and it's coming out in a bad light, people get used to it and it becomes normal to them. So now when they hear it later down the road, it's still appalling, but it's not as shocking as originally. So, and then, all the stuff with Disney and everything, which has been there this whole time in front of all our kids' faces. All the, hidden sexual innuendos and stuff like that in their drawings and covers of things and everything like that. So I think what I'm trying to get at here is that they're just showing us that this is what they are. This is what they're about. And the whole transgender thing that they brought in, starting with the adults, going into the teenagers, and then winding it down to the younger and younger and younger kids who are now, trainee boys and girls who wake up one day at 2 years old and be like, God made a mistake. I'm really a boy. I'm not a girl. All this bullshit is to bring in that pedophilia on the child's end to where they can make these adult decisions, and that if they can change their gender or decide that there's something else at 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, well, why couldn't they make that type of a life-changing decision as well? And, they'll bring it in on the kids' side to where the kids actually ask for this and then they're trying to make it that these adults have this, it's a sexual preference. It's how they were when they were born, like the gay people, they're born this way and stuff like that. It's all one big psyop on the people.
I just think it's like one of the last things that have to fall.
Yeah.
Because everything else,
it's not that it's going to fall. It's going to come out.
Well, what I'm saying, like the last domino.
Yeah.
To fall down. Because a lot of the other stuff is already out there. Like, I mean, now they're straight up selling like black craft magic in stores. I can get
After School Satan and all that. When that first came out, I was like, we're done. We're done.
When I was in high school, you had to dig deep to find satanic clothing.
Yeah.
I can go to Target and get a Baphomet hoodie.
Yeah.
And so that's the last demo to me, because it's still
all over everything now.
Yeah, I mean, you got Facebook sponsoring ads for Black Craft, and they're a satanic clothing line.
Yeah,
I send him all the time.
They started with the stuff that people didn't realize was satanic. These Disney stars wearing the circle with the star in it, or the monster logo. All the stuff people were acclimated to that. Oh, I like it. I like the way it looks. You tell them what it means, they still don't care because they like the way it looks or something.
Right. You got Drake. His clothing line uses Moloch on everything. I mean, even that, like you said, Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. is about adrenochrome.
Yeah.
Scaring little kids and getting the juice from them and shit like that. So I really think that's what
us for a long time to bring this out into the open, to where it's already in our mindsets, and we've already accepted so much that if they bombard us with this stuff, even at Christmas time, I saw a necklace. It was like a star necklace, but the star was clearly canted upside down.
Yeah.
It was an upside down pentagram. But you know, the average teenager that walks in and sees the star and they just saw it on their latest MTV, whatever person they like singing today or whatever, and they'll go and buy that.
Billie
And,
Eilish.
you know, ignorance is not bliss. It's just fucking ignorant. And, you know, God says my people perish for lack of knowledge. You need to know these things. You need to know your enemy and you need to know what they're using against you. And yeah, things have double and triple meanings sometimes. And you have to really dig deep and figure out what this stuff's all about. And what are you exposing your children to? Because we've been exposed to it. I grew up with this stuff. And, you know, my kids, when they were growing up, I was learning a lot of this stuff, but it was later on when they were a little bit older. So they were exposed to a lot of stuff, but it wasn't a ton of Disney stuff. They didn't do a lot of Disney when they were younger. More like Power Rangers and stuff or Ninja Turtles and stuff. But yeah, the kids today, it's so in their faces. Even with that Sabrina show you were talking about, teaching them all these, you know, casting spells and rituals and all this stuff. It's absolute insanity.
And like I said, that show goes deep. Like this isn't some cute little like where she's like saying like hocus pocus and like she is legitly like at one point. I mean, I think in season 2, she's like killing these Satan or whoever. And she's floating there with a crown of thorns, bleeding. Her eyes are white. She's levitating in the air, and she's like killing all these people. And I'm like, they go deep on this shit. Like this isn't some like cute little, like this is legit satanic. Well, this is what happens when you mess with demons and Lucifer and this side of the world, this side of the veil.
Yeah. Well, real quick, this is like pretty much what we were talking about months ago. Like they had to get to this point with this. This was the first. This was like the alarming step for me about 5-6 months ago when Celine Dion came out with her clothing line for children.
Yep.
Like, you know, this is just weird. The Exorcist slams. Like what? Like what? Who fucking names their shit that, yo? It's just so crazy.
What's about that music video there?
Where?
In the middle is Celine Dion. In between the. Yeah. What's this about?
Well, it's about her walking into a nursery full of babies, and what she wants to do is wipe out the gender and make them all gender neutral. So, and originally in the video, one side's blue, the other side's kind of pink for girls, and then when she gets done with everything, it's all gray, kind of, you know, in the gray area. Everything's gray.
Oh, there you go. On the right there, Steve. You see the babies?
Oh yeah,
pink, blue thing.
Yeah, she wants to do away with all that boy, girl. Now it's all just Lucifer's babies.
One, you know, many out of one. They like that little term. But like,
there's a natural order to things, and they're trying to invert the natural order of things because that's how they worship their god Lucifer, by inverting and deceiving on so many levels. Celine Dion is a man. You know how many people wish that they looked like Celine Dion? Long, thin legs, narrow hips, you know, this perfect body. Well, guess what? She has male DNA. She's not a woman. This is a war on women, and we're going to get on into that later on the show we're going to do on my channel, The Bitches Brew, the war on women and the rise of the pedosexual. So if anybody's around later, check that out, 7:15 Central Time.
Nice. That's good stuff. And it just, you know, this was like one of the alarming bells for me. I saw this and I was like, wow, they're going to go for it sooner than later because like you said, like literally XO, nah, how about New Order? Like we don't fuck with that XO shit anymore. You know, like it's all about one. Like I don't even know what this is.
What the fuck is that kid wearing over there?
This one?
No, zoom out.
Antlers.
Far right, bottom right. Yeah.
Got a mask on. Look at that. He's masked the kids already.
Edfield. Yeah. Oh, this is all part of the plan. Absolutely. Yeah. You know, and it's just real funny that it's just not really funny. It's just strange how someone literally hit me up yesterday and was like, hey, I kind of see what you've been saying this whole time about Lady Gaga. I've been a lifelong fan. I was just like, yeah. I was like, what about this little picture of her eating a cake that looks like a human? Or maybe it's just a gelatin form of human, because they do that shit. That shit. And she was like, oh, man. I was like, yeah, you got to check out this, and that. But that's how, like I said before, that's a good thing you can take from everything that's happening right now. Some people are starting to get the cobwebs out of their ears, you know?
Yeah. Well, like you said.
No, hold on. It's like at the beginning of all this, we thought they were going to pull the plug quick. You know what I'm saying? So this is kind of backfiring on them, that a lot of people are waking up, I think. But like I said, like we've said for a while, it's all not part of the Q plan. This is all part of the real plan. There's not many, you know, the ship's only big enough to fit, what, 500 million, maybe? Who knows? You know, they got to wipe out X amount of people. We're looking at the human depopulation thing, whatever it was, the population projections for 2025. United States is down 220 million people by then. Just mad weird. And the military and police funding was down over 700,000 a year. So that's it's all coming to pass, people. It's all coming to pass. But the good thing is that some people are becoming aware, and we have to not just make them aware of the satanic part of the world, but we have to show them that if these people blatantly worship Lucifer, well, you know, there's a flip side to that coin. You know, the old yin yang thing, you can use that in their favor, because I think that's all just new agey and shit. But, you know, because there's only one true almighty power that controls everything in the world, and that's God himself. So we got to start bringing people from checking out, you know, adrenochrome, eating babies and blah, 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 Georgia Guidestones, and bring them to the fact that, you know, there's something put us here for a reason now. I think we would all be waste of bodies back in the year, like, you know, 1605 or some bull crap. You know, so we're here now to get as many people aware to just the truth in general. And it's nice seeing some people. A lot of people have been hitting me up lately, like, yo, I kind of thought this before, but now I saw your video on this, or you be sharing some stuff on that. I got one person I haven't talked to in about 5 years hit me up like, yo, thanks for sharing all that Tartarian work. That stuff's crazy. I'm like, yo, what? I'm like, yo, motherfucker's crazy, bro. So it's good to see people waking up, but unfortunately it's not 2015. It's not really going to make a difference here in the physical, but we have to let them understand that the way out of here is like Jesus. You know, you come as a man, you die as a man. You don't make any upgrades to yourself. You don't get the vaccine, chip, Neuralink, whatever. All of that, let that go. That's materialism. That's physical paradise. We want mental, spiritual paradise. You know, we want to be out of here. We don't want that physical paradise. That sucks, because that's going to get burnt down. So the more people we could tell that, you know, pretty much don't get the vaccine, and the repercussion is going to be you're not invited. Let's put it that way. And either they're going to throw you in a shitty camp, or they're just going to throw you out. Let's put it that way, you know. And I'm cool. I'm cool. We got to learn people to be cool with that, because everyone's afraid to move on to the next level. Because like me and Bobby talk about all the time, people are like, oh, you know, I've been a real dick my whole life. I sin all the time. That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Get on your knees, pray to him for forgiveness through Jesus Christ, and don't take the vaccine, and you're in, bro. You're in. I think. Don't quote me, but I think you're in. I think you're good.
Philip Baca said about Cher. I did a video on Cher. Cher is definitely a tranny man. Like I said, many women, you know, emulate these stars. They want to be like them. They want to look like them. How do they always look so perfect and slim and long legged and stuff? Cher is definitely a man. It's in the name. They want you to see her, not see him. That's why it's C, the capital letter C, and then her, Cher. They put it together. It's always in the name. Once you start digging into this, you start to see really what's going on. The blinders come off. And that was shocking to me when I delve into all the trans investigations and tranny men in Hollywood and stuff. And it goes back all the way to the inception of stage performances and stuff like that. They've always had men dressed as women on stage. Women were never allowed to perform. And that holds true till today, for sure.
For sure. I mean, like look at like India, and look at like Dubai and stuff like that. Don't quote me on it, but I don't think women have many rights over there, you know, or China. Women have no rights, actually. And we're trying to adopt the Chinese way of living, trying to adopt their credit system. Imagine how that's going to work out. It's literally going to be like The Handmaid's Tale, like you showed me. Oh, yeah. It's going to work out like that for a little bit, I feel. It's crazy.
Well, you know, back, was it February? I think it was. We read the Chinese defense minister's speech from 2005 about cleaning up America. And here now we're seeing the people tearing down statues of our, founding fathers and these different people who were generals in wars, high schools named after different generals in the Civil War and stuff like that, all being changed and taken down. And this is what happens when a country is invaded. When we went into Iraq, they pulled down Saddam Hussein's statue. They actually had the people do it. Like as if they're being liberated, you know what I mean? But clearly we're not being liberated. They weren't being liberated, and we're being taken over from within. And China has its hand in the back pocket of the what's taken over within here in our country. And we are adopting not only their measures on quarantine, because clearly we saw how that worked out in China and what they're trying to pull here, but also the credit system, the social credit score system, and this whole digital reality that they want to surround us with.
It's terrible. It's terrible. But real quick, let's talk about like Iraq and Baghdad and all that shit that happened in like 2002 and 3 when we raided, because the first thing that the Americans went for was the museum.
Yep.
That had ancient tablets. Well, technically, what did they steal? Like 100,000 artifacts, but only 70,000 got returned. So there's 30,000 things that are still missing from that museum to date. And unfortunately, I believe that they're all parts of either ancient beings or just tablets with spells on them that tell them how to resurrect this, that, and the other. I don't know. I don't really know what they got, but it's just interesting how the only thing that they went for when they finally, got into Baghdad was the museum. And they raided that fucker. And the thing was, most of the doors, they weren't kicked open. They were just open with the key. So it's like they had obvious help that they had on the inside. But It's just crazy how, control, how this government that we live under just has their,
well, if you think about it,
legged out so far,
any other place they would have blew the doors off, right? But this is a museum and it's got precious items in there that they need. So it's logical that they would have keys and not be blowing their way into this thing because they don't want to, damage anything that could, possibly benefit them in some way.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's so crazy. And in 2001, they allegedly found the tomb of Gilgamesh. And I assume that's one of the pieces from the museum that never got returned. Because all these people worship Nimrod, Gilgamesh. It's the same dude, different name. Osiris, whatever, dude. I mean, we have his statue of his junk up everywhere. The DC Capitol, Vatican, London, wherever, It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. All these obelisks everywhere. And even the miniature ones, like the little one down the street with the Freemason stamp on it. Mm-hmm. It's all an homage of him. It's ridiculous, dude. And they're trying to literally resurrect him. I don't know if you guys know, but there's a statue in Washington, D.C. called The Awakening. Have you guys ever heard of that?
No.
Yeah. Is that the one where it looks like a giant's coming out of the ground?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you should show that. That's pretty fucking crazy.
Let me get that real quick. The Awakening, DC.
And then you have the CERN Awakening thing that's going on.
Oh, yeah, that's the project. Yep, the Awake Project, the Linear Awake Project. You love to see that. What do you think about that, Bobby? That's the Awakening. Yeah. Everyday stuff, dude, right? Like,
check it out. It's that giant thing coming from underground, like Lucifer. Remember we learned how huge his chest, his abdomen area is, like 2 miles, right? So now they're portraying a giant coming up from the underworld.
Yeah, it's right on the coastline too. That's very interesting. And real quick, for anyone who hasn't switched to DuckDuckGo yet, I advise you do, because Google has a mean knack for tracking you. So anything you can do to slow them down, even though it might not matter at this point anymore, might not want to show them exactly what by with the servers, but it is what it is. But just look how big this thing is. That's a head and that's a human body.
Yeah, and he's in the mouth. That's funny. It looks like he's getting eaten.
Do you know when it was made?
No, but we could find out. I don't think it was.
I know one.
You know when?
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh.
1980.
There you go.
72 foot.
22 meters.
Mhm.
Jesus. That's interesting.
And then it says, it was designated by Congress at the site for National Peace Garden in 1987.
Really? That's interesting.
So it was made in 80.
Weren't the Georgia Guidestones made in 1980?
I think they were placed there in 1980.
Ever, yeah, you know what I'm saying. They showed up. Poof. Overnight. But yeah, that's just so crazy how there's actually a
Built
statue.
in 1980.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's weird how you can't find any pictures of the construction of the Guidestones. You know, it's just the Guidestones. That's it.
Yeah, right, yo. Isn't that crazy? Imagine that.
American Stonehenge instructions for the post-apocalypse. So that's what they're called, the Guidestones?
Yeah, the American Stonehenge. And then I don't know if you guys know this, but there's an Arctic henge. And they said that supposedly they built that up there in Iceland somewhere, but this thing looks otherworldly. The Arctic henge. I didn't even know that there was an Arctic henge up there. And it was probably about 9 years ago when I learned about this Arctic henge, and then I just filed it away in the back of my head. And then since we started looking at mud flood stuff and everything, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, that Arctic henge. I mean, that thing is just crazy looking.
This was a ritual site. There's no way.
Oh, yeah.
You ever see Transformers #5, Bobby?
No.
Check it out.
I'm good.
This is what happens, though. Nah. Watch that.
Those movies, bruh, after like the second one, I just wanted to bang my head against the wall.
Oh, dude, they're corny. They're corny, but
It's
they're
so bad.
dude,
I'll watch it on mute.
watch it on, dude. Just watch it for the subliminals, because they be saying shit and telling you shit. Because in the 5th one, they actually team up with the Decepticons, and they do it in this place that's like 7 miles underground. He calls it the tank, and it's where they interact with the beings. It's just some sketchy shit, dude. And then while it's all happening, you have these great horns come out of the earth, and they look awkwardly like this. So just find that interesting.
And that one, it looks like where you look through the one, and like here with the sun in the center, like you can look through all of them, and the sun's right there in the center there. It's so creepy looking.
It was made precisely for that exact thing.
Yeah, look at this. What's this?
Yeah, what's the drawing there?
A diagram.
Yeah.
Left or right, I got 2 drawings.
Yeah, there you go. Click on that first one. There
This
you go.
one?
There. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
Frosty, I don't know. Looks like a calendar
Well, look, it looks like giants.
holding it up.
Yeah, dude. It looks like fucking
Is
hell.
is-
It looks like that picture with that pointy thing in the center of, what we were looking at with that goat looking thing on the top of the tower and all.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's crazy.
so are they trying to say this was like a calendar?
November.
January, or January.
That must be like December there.
January, February, Mars,
October.
September.
This might be where they get their little ritual calendar from. Because there's a lot of events that happen in between, like October and November there.
Click on that. Yeah, that one there. Is this supposedly what it would have looked like originally if it wasn't all whatever?
It's just artist depiction, yeah.
There's one here too. That's like another, like above it. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
supposed
crazy.
to be what it's supposed to look like. I guess that's what they're
Like,
saying.
this could even be a Mandela effect, because when I learned about this, I was like, no way. Like, how did we never hear about this fucking Arctic henge and stuff? You know what I mean?
Right? That's just strange. In Iceland.
It's so bizarre looking. It's just so, I don't know, something out of like Skull or some kind of weird movie like Castle Grayskull or something.
I mean, like, the Nordics, they hung out up here, the tall, blonde-haired, blue-eyed creatures. So this is probably one of their little original places. I mean, up north, the god sits at the north, apparently. So maybe they're just trying to conjure in some of that energy that the, what's it called? The aurora, whatever this shit is, that gives off and shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what causes these. They say it's like radiation or something, right? Or solar flares or some bull crap.
Well, if we are shaped like a toroidal field and the center of our plane, which would be, say, our North Pole, is the, where the magnetic Mount Meru is, and there's this inflow and outflow of water and stuff, it would be like a toroidal field, excuse me. And that's probably what's given off these, this energy light. It's not something from space or anything like that.
Oh,
What
no.
space? Aliens?
Yeah. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. He did it.
Hey, do you guys know everything the guys don't say to do?
In a way, yes. But if you
We
want
can
to,
get it- we
if
can
you want to
get it out.
remind us, yeah, I'll get a picture going.
I'm like reading it on like because somebody like wrote it out. There's ironically 10, I guess you can call commandments of
Yeah,
what
the Ten
we
Commandments.
should do. Obviously, one of them is to keep humanity at 500 million.
And balance, perpetual balance with nature, may I add. Nature that they're going to destroy and turn digital. See, that's how they get you there. But keep going.
So, guide reproduction wisely, involving fitness and diversity.
Real quick, this just sounds eerily similar to the transhumanist Bill of Rights, but I digress.
Yeah.
Unite humanity with a living new language.
Yep.
You love to see it.
Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts.
Real quick, that's literally going to be like the Batman scene from Batman and Bane, where it's like you want death or exile because your guilt has already been assumed, but it's not going to be by the people, it's going to be by the D-Wave. So that they're setting us up for radical court system sooner or later, and they're going to exile you, or you're going to get death, or exile by death, or
Right.
death by exile, whatever he did in the movie to flip it up on those cops. But still, that's what they're going to do. But keep on going, Bobby. Break it down.
Number 7's pretty good, and it correlates right to today. But first, we're on 6. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court.
We got that set up too.
New World Order Court. Yeah, we got that already.
Avoid petty laws and useless officials.
Yeah, that means only obey the New World Order, local officials and all these lower level government people trying to fight for, the right thing and everything. We don't have time for them. They're useless. Let's just go by the New World Order protocol and that's it.
Yeah, we don't need cops.
The mask mandate seems like a petty law, so I'm in favor of that. No, I'm just kidding.
Balance
It's not even a
personal
law,
rights.
mandate.
Balance personal rights with social duties.
Quick, that's literally you're not gonna be able to have personal rights unless you get X amount of mining credits through the social credit cryptocurrency body mining system that Kazakhstan's already mining for. Remember, we saw that crazy shit. But keep going.
This one's crazy. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite.
Yeah. So, the infinite is Lucifer. That's not everlasting life. The infinite is infinite hell. But
I think it's the digital world. I think that's going to be computer-wise, the infinite transhumanism.
And you won't be able to kill yourself. You'll seek death, but it will flee you. But it says, love, beauty, and something else there. So love is not what we've been told. And we look at love in completely the wrong way. It's actually like a possessive or something like that. I forget how they broke it down, but beauty comes from the fallen angels, shadowing the eyes. Beauty is that it should be talking about the beauty within, but this is clearly an external beauty that they're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all about materialism, makeup, all that shit. But then truth, prize truth.
Prize truth.
No, it's going to be shaming real truth and passing bullcrap fucking truths to erase history. But like you said, in harmony with the infinite, Transhumanism Bill of Rights, Article 6, involuntary aging is classified as a disease. So if you don't want to be infinite, if you want to involuntary age like a normal person, you're a disease. You're out of here. See you later. Corona boy, you're gone. That's what they're going to do.
Bro, the last one, it says, don't be a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. leave room for nature.
And that goes into the Agenda 2021 maps where we see they mostly rewild the whole United States, and there's only little green cities with less than 10,000 people in them, and only specific locations, and it's very few. So this is all their leave room for nature. They rewild everything. These are the nethers. We can't go there. Non-human activity in these areas. If you live there, you won't.
It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous the extent these people are going to put us down even more.
the guy who made them, or someone, it says Christian explained on the Wikipedia page, if you will, that the stones would function as a compass, calendar, and clock, and should be capable of withstanding catastrophic events.
Well, now we know where a safe zone is, right where the Georgia Guidestones are.
Right.
It's crazy, dude. And people are like, well, what could that be? A meteor, nuclear war? Try Starlink.
I love the meteor one.
There's probably
try the solar simulators that have been in the sky for probably 10 years. Who knows? Who knows what they're going to ray down on the earth? Who knows how the California fire started? All I know is that they burnt down houses, and if they did hit the wildfire, it was from the inside out the trees burned. Imagine that.
Yes.
Imagine that. Natural fire. Yeah.
I'm grabbing some coffee. I'll be right back.
Do your thing. You do your thing.
I'm like really looking into all this now. Like I'm reading. It says the 4 outer stones to mark the limits of the 18.6 lunar cycle. The center column features a hole drilled at an angle from one side to the other through which can be seen the North Star.
Wow. Oh yeah. Yeah, dude, they're astronomically lined up. For something that popped up overnight, they're in an incredibly coincidental area, let's put it that way. They're up rather precise for some guy to put them up on, 3/22/1980.
The North Star, a star whose position changes gradually over time.
Also, they're compensating for the new Mandela effect. Someone tell Brian that in the chat. I know people are listening. I see Tommy, tell the truth. Tell Brian that. Tell Brian that the new definition for North Star is that it actually does move out of its position slightly, even though every single picture, planogram, whatever they're called, you take a picture and then all together. It's in the middle. It's in the middle. The Picasso, whoever the fuck made that painting back in the day, he wouldn't have made it wrong. He wouldn't have made it wrong. You put a lot of detail in something to get it right. Oh my God.
Listen to this shit, dude. The parallax gives a distance to the Polaris of about 433 light years, about 133 parsecs. What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking? But that's why people don't question it. Oh, sure. Hey, bro. All I know is that the Polaris gives the Polaris, dude, about 133 parsecs, bro. That's all I know.
Right. Like, what kind of person do you want to be stuck with? Let's say shit does go down and people are separated and, some people are in the woods. Are you going to want to be in the woods, guys, with someone who knows the distance from here to the moon? Or are you going to want to be in the woods with someone who knows how to start a fire? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people got to start, getting their skills, their traits ready and up, because
hold on, dude. We got to back the fuck up. Because I just Googled, does the North Star move? And I got the North Star, also known as Polaris, is known to stay fixed in our sky. That's why you can always use Polaris to find the direction of north. But the North Star does move. Excuse me?
That's redonkulous.
If you took its picture, you find that it makes its own little circle around the exact point of the North Celestial Pole every day. That should tell you all you need to know. The star has its own circular path it takes. The star has its own path it takes in a circle.
And that's it.
Like, that should be enough for people right there.
That's the bottom line. Because Bobby Stevens said
that's the truth.
You
don't move. They do.
You can't handle the truth, Bobby. Oh man, these people are ridiculous. Oh yeah, absolutely. I like the way people like meme it up on whatever, like Twitter and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's like I need the truth, and it's like Facebook doesn't allow the truth.
But that really fucking blew my mind just now. It literally says the North Star is known to stay fixed in our sky, but it does move, and it has its own circular path it takes.
That's ridiculous. But hey, I'm going to pull a Jen. I'm going to get something to drink real quick. You guys carry the train.
Well, I got my drink right here. I got my.
Oh, see, Bobby's prepared. I'm not. Well, I had a coffee before. I kind of chugged it, and now I'm like dying over here. So I'll be right back.
Well, I got homemade iced tea. What do you mean?
Well, life was like a box of chocolates, that's for sure. Now it's just fucked.
Yeah, facts.
So, yeah, I think the Mandela effect definitely preceded everything that's going on, and it had its own way of telling us what was going on, especially with the Bible changes, or even or what's he say? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Now he says this neighborhood. And it might be like that. It might be like a beautiful day in this neighborhood, but that neighborhood over there, they're fucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's definitely.
I think the box of chocolates one is a big one though. Like where when you say it now, it has a creepy aura to it. Like life was like a box of chocolates. Like, what do you mean?
Life was good, and you're going to be missing the shit that you had.
You have surprises, but now we know exactly what you're going to get.
Yeah, a boot stomping on the face of humanity forever. George Orwell.
Dude, I love reading these articles about astronauts. It's the greatest thing in the world. You just find words, and you just go, they just made a whole bunch of big words up. Like, well, we were just saying, like, it's years and parsecs.
They made up a whole thing that people, astrophysicists and all this stuff like that. Any career that's based on space, it's all made up. It's
great. Study of NASA astronauts finds microgravity causes alterations of brain structures. What?
Microgravity.
Microgravity.
Microgravity. What
Microgravity. It's gravity so small it gets inside you. Like it's.
It's bullshit.
That's the stupidest thing in the world. That's what it is.
Oh, I've never heard of that before.
I literally just looked up. So I googled the North Star, so it was all these.
Bullshit. That's what Karen does.
Oh, boy.
SpaceX Dragon.
Have you heard of that? SpaceX Dragon? That's great.
They're coming back on August 2nd.
What?
They're going to come in and they're going to land straight down on a barge.
Because NASA plans to return its astronauts in SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft on August 2nd. They're going to play you the same video backwards.
Yep.
Yeah, I got one.
They'll never know.
Got an example right here of the fake X going backwards. I don't know if it's on Facebook or Twitter, but
I used to have the video comparing it to the 1950s movie. It was some type of a movie. It had to do with Russia or something. And in that movie, 1950s, guys, black and white, by the way, you could see the platform. You could see the people sitting on the stands, like at the beach, and you see this platform off in the distance in the water, and this missile coming down and landing on it, and it had SpaceX right next to it landing on theirs, and it was identical. I mean, it's just
a shit show. It's SpaceX. Yeah. It's fake X. That's it.
Yeah, it's all fake.
That's it.
Space has been being made in a Hollywood basement for a very fucking long time.
Oh, Jesus. Hold on for a minute. All right, let's switch this topic because I love the old Facebook fact checker. Check this out. You're telling me that in 1970, whatever, they weren't crying about an ice age, and now we're crying about global warming. You're going to tell me that's fucking wrong? That's ridiculous. That's why Facebook fact checkers are wrong, because this story is 100% right. We've proved it on this channel time and time again. So
well, listen, do you remember
people to see that? Because everyone on my Facebook, well, oh look, it got taken down by fact checkers. Must be wrong. I'm like, no. If it got taken down by fact checkers, that means it's probably worth looking into.
They brought in the fake news meme when Donald Trump became president. Fake news, fake news, fake news. They carried it out for like a year or so, and then about 2 years ago, they started coming out where teachers were starting to teach the children about how to discern what's fake and what's not. And then they started with these fact checkers and stuff like that. So they were already trying to condition the kids to hone discernment, but against the truth, looking at it as it's fake news, whereas it's taking us years to develop our discernment to learn what is fake and what is real, because they control all the information, right? So they were already trying to condition our kids to look at certain things that are fake. Like, if you're learning this in school and we taught this to you, but you see this over here, you'll know that that's fake. You know what I mean? And this is all just to, continue on their narrative and to steer people away from the truth, because the truth has to come out. It's coming out and they can't stop it. And they're going to do whatever they can to control that narrative.
Absolutely. Well, unfortunately, I can't find that SpaceX clip, but, I did find some interesting, I'd be posting all that Tartarian shit. So let's just, not shit, but you know what I'm saying. Like, why isn't there places like this anymore?
Right.
With the pillar obelisk, another homage to Osiris, or whatever people want to call them now, Nimrod, Gilgamesh, whatever. Same guy, different story. It's ridiculous how people don't see that. Like,
Wow.
Come on, dude.
All Freemasons get that on their gravestone.
Get what?
Osiris's cock.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
Mhm.
of course. Of course. I think this is just the same building over and over again, but still just an interesting look at, the old architecture that is not even close to,
You know what that reminds me of is that building that they just discovered in India under the sand. That very top part of this building that you're showing reminds me of that top part that they were, all the sand, they were brushing it away. Kinda
we were looking at that the other day, I remember. Look at this, a radar
that.
in Ukraine or something. Yeah.
What is it?
A radar.
Oh my God.
Yeah, bro.
That's
Like,
the kind of wall they should be building down there in fucking Mexico. You know what I mean? Like, now that's a wall.
half dude, right? Yeah, what else do I got on here? That's kind of trippy to look at, but
That kind of looks like the Hunger Games thing, that wall that you just showed. Isn't that? Because I just watched the Hunger Games recently. I'd never seen it in my life, but
Reminds me of Divergent.
yeah,
Yes,
and that's that wall
yes.
that they were all climbing up. Oh yeah, Divergent. I think that's what it is. You're right, guys. Divergent.
I mean, the movie's trash. I don't blame you for forgetting it.
yeah.
Movies are so bad anymore. Like, what happened to people just ran out of imagination, I guess, and they start going for a full agenda and somewhere in the 80s.
Yeah. Charlize Theron, which is really Charlie Theron. That's another tranny man. He used to have good movies out, Aeon Flux, all that stuff like that. But I just watched the Old Guard, the most recent one that she made,
Mhm.
and that fucking thing sucked.
Bro, it's so
It's
bad.
all about immortals.
Yeah,
How they can get shot up and then they heal themselves instantly, like they never die. And this one lady who's trapped in this
Whoa.
Iron Maiden keeps dying over and over and over again. Like,
I just showed my kid the other day E.T. and he loved it. And then we watched Goonies, and we watched fucking Gremlins, and he loves them. Like, these are fucking movies. They
Right.
were good, right? And then now you watch movies from today, and you're just like, what the fuck? Agenda after agenda after political view.
and there's look at all that red brick, dude.
But it's really pretty though.
Yeah.
it is.
That's crazy.
Where's this at?
Zeus.
I have no idea.
Is that Zeus with his lunch? What the fuck?
No, that actually looks like one of the ancient
Hold on.
Sumerian gods
Is-
with their little basket.
Is he
that
getting
they
scanned
carry.
in?
What?
Zoom. What's going over there? Is he what's he doing over there?
He's got his upside down candle or something, or
It
his
looks like it looks like a hand or a dick.
Oh my God.
He's approving it or something.
Oh, that could be the missing part of Orion.
There
They're
you
trying to. They need every single part to bring him back.
All right, so when you look at the Anunnaki and the Sumerians, the Anunnaki always had a pine cone in one hand, which looks like that's kind of what's in the hand pointing down, holding some type of a pine cone looking thing. And in his other hand, he always had a basket or a little box that he carried. And
I've seen those boxes in like not even there. I've seen them in like Navajo, Egyptian. They're little boxes in every single like ancient fucking quote unquote ancient story. But
It's on our toolbars on our computer too. If you see that thing that looks like a lock, it actually shaped like one of their boxes, and I find that interesting because a lot of the symbols that we use that we think are new, even the on-off symbol, we were talking about the power symbol.
it's like strongest ones. Yeah.
Yeah, these are all ancient symbols.
Look at that fresh ass water.
Wow, that is definitely
They found the inside of
old
like
world.
Nimrod's house or something. Yeah. I don't know where they are, but like something happened. Look at the red brick.
Wow, look at that brick.
Look at the
Yeah.
floor.
No, that's fucking crazy.
Wow, yeah, the honeycombs. That's strange.
Wow.
They were even doing honeycomb back then. That's crazy.
Well,
That's
it's part of the
crazy.
plan.
Trust the plan, Bobby.
I do not believe for a second that woman's standing there.
Nah, there's no shadow. Nah, she ain't there.
That means there's something important in this picture. We're trying to be diverted by that woman. Get out of here.
Right.
What's in
Fat-
this
Yeah,
picture?
you're
Probably-
distracted by the woman in the red dress.
Probably a crack over here that shows the red brick, you know? That's
Or
the only
what's
thing
what's that picture in the back of her?
This
It looks like some
Yeah.
fashion. Oh, okay, it's people
Oh.
with those weird hats on. It looks kind of Anunnaki-ish. It's weird because they always had those weird penis-looking hats on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
These guys are strange.
Like it goes up the steps too. Like there's a scene over there.
I don't think it's real steps. I think those are like on the wall.
Really?
I think it's like 3D. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a scene over there. And there's a guy over here. Is that supposed to be Jesus?
This guy? Could be.
I mean, the heart's in the center. I always see pictures of Jesus with the heart in the center.
Uh-huh.
Imagine that.
Yeah, and then our heart changes to the center.
How crazy. Oh,
We're
what
not
was that?
supposed to have idols or engraven idols and stuff like that. So the idol they put up of Jesus with there you go. There you go. There's the Anunnaki with their little basket and their pine cone.
Yeah, Marika in the chat just sent that to us.
Thank you, Marika. I love you.
Yeah, she's good stuff. She's good stuff. But that's
Is
nuts.
that a watch? Is he wearing a watch?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
He's wearing
Gucci.
a watch. And he also has a laptop in his bag too.
My man's got a Rolex. Hey man, he was stunting. So the fit was the matter, bro. That's what was up.
So check this out, guys. I'm going to look up Steve, since you're on pictures, or I don't know if you want to do it, look up ancient laptop. You'll see statues that look like they're depicted working on a laptop, or there's a smaller person holding a laptop.
There you go.
Larger person. And yes, considering that our timeline is all off, and we know now that, and look, it's got the ports on the side.
Yeah, dude.
Things did not happen as far back as they said. So it's quite possible that, this technology has been around for a very long time.
Or this stuff just didn't happen a long time ago.
Yeah. I mean, like this technology has been around since
Reset.
the last reset, which is only like 500 years ago, maybe.
Whoa, what is that? The hell?
Where this?
All of it, dude. What am I looking at?
You find all kinds of interesting stuff that relates to our technology today.
That's crazy. That's still just mad weird. Like, is that like Greta Thunberg time traveling, fucking with people? Like, look at your Facebook. It
I
sucks.
mean, it's a laptop. There's no two ways around it. It's a fucking laptop.
What could you say it was?
There you go.
What's the X thing? I don't get what the X thing is. Some kind of volt? The fuck are we like?
Oh, that's an Antikythera. That's that little mechanism they found under the ocean and the Mediterranean, I think. Two sponge divers found it. And it is, you can see the modern version. They tried to reenact this thing, clean it up, and do x-rays on it, and wanted to do a replica of it. And they said it is so intricate and so precise. They can't even fathom how these people would have made these parts. And there's many parts, like the layers in a clock.
Yeah.
is the way it was put together. Steve, can you find any pictures of the modern Antikythera device?
AKA, we're fucking stupid now, and we couldn't understand it.
So they think it came off of some type of a ship, or it, if the water rose and there was, buildings and stuff underneath the water and everything, it was left behind. But it was in poor condition. But they were able to reenact this thing, and it has to do with this, the stars and the months and stuff like that. At least that's what they tell us they were using it for. It could have a whole nother purpose, and they're just giving us that as a cover story. But it is very, very intricate, and it's very old, according to them. But, old is what now? It's 500 years old? That's probably what it is. It's probably not 5,000 years old.
Yeah. So what do you want me to look up? You kind of going 1,000 an hour.
Antikythera device.
Yeah, like I know. How do you spell that again?
I don't know how. If you click back on one of those pictures that you just had up, do you still have any of them up of that device that we were just looking at?
No.
No. Okay.
We'll get it back up, bastard.
Hold on.
Try to type it how it sounds. Antikythera device.
That's not gonna happen from the dislike.
ANTI.
Hold on. I'm doing the easy way. I'm doing it the way said to do.
Just let me say it here, and then I'll get it up. I can speak.
Oh yeah, I got it right here. Let's see if you got this. Try this out. Let's see if you could spell this. I got nay faith in this. This is an interesting word. Try it out. This is nuts.
You want me to spell it now?
I want you to try and spell it, unless you've already looking at it right now.
No, I'm not looking at it. ANTI.
Yep.
CHATRIAM.
I don't think we would have ever found it. No, I got ANTIKYTHERA mechanism. I don't know how to say that. Mechanism, sure. Yeah.
All right. So there should be the modern version of it somewhere, or you could look it up from there, because they usually show the comparison of it, like in the museum that they have it in, and how they rebuilt it and what they think that, the components look like. And it was made of brass and all this stuff.
Whoops.
There you go.
Yeah. This thing. And they think it was this thing.
Yep.
So it's pretty much like a recreation of you ever see a movie by Lionsgate and it goes into the locks and shit?
Oh yes, dude. Yes.
Yeah. So they were telling us the whole time that way. That's just like DreamWorks telling you the fucking moon is right there. The little kid can actually go fishing from the moon down to the water. But I know it's not actually that close, but if you had like maybe a 30-mile line, I think you'd be able to do it.
All right, stop right there. Oh, go up just a little bit more. Go up. There you go. Keep going. Right there, the third one in, the real brass bronze. Yeah, click that. Yeah, because that shows us more of a side view. I don't know if you can zoom in on it, but this thing was quite intricate with its gears and positionings and stuff. And it was very small. Like you would have to have precision instruments to create this thing.
It's crazy. It's so crazy. I don't even so what is this supposed to be? Like a navigator, time teller, date maker or something?
Pretty much, dude. Yeah.
Damn. Wonder what one of these was running back in the old day. Like a whole brick or something? Whole brick of gold get you one of these? That's nuts.
Yeah, right.
That's nuts. And where exactly did they find this again? Somewhere in Greece?
In the Mediterranean. Not sure if it was near Greece or Italy, but there was two sponge divers looking for sponges and stuff, and they found this thing.
I think it said Greek, yeah.
Yeah.
Here. Discovered in 1901. Damn. Uh-oh. There we go. That's crazy. Culture. Hell. There you go.
Hellenistic. Yep. Exactly.
Nice. Yeah, Hellenistic RA. That's what we're living through right now. A Hellenistic 2020 COVID, whatever you want to call it.
Like Hellman's changed to man's hell. You always have to reverse these words. Like this new comet, Neo-Wise, that really means wise one. So they're telling us that this is probably most likely an angel, and it's probably not one of the fallen ones. It's one of the ones that I think are meant to be a harbinger, with, like, the trumpets being blown and stuff like that. So this is an angel. It's a wise one.
About that in the Bible, it talks about how Lucifer, it's not just Lucifer, but all of his dominions, they're also bearers of light and whatnot. They come disguised as the most awe-inspiring thing. An angel, he'll just show up and be like, hey, dude, like, they're not afraid to come to us in like physical form, because they've actually, stayed through all the lessons in heaven. These guys, they dipped out early. They can only do like up to lesson 7. Let's put it that way. When these guys have done up to lesson 10, So whatever these magic works are in the sky at night in specific places, or whatever's been happening, because you got Neowise, you got a solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, all within 3 weeks of each other. Those are signs of the times. There'll be signs of the moon, or the sun, moon, and stars.
Yes, and we're getting one of those signs right now from the wise one. Now, it could be negative or positive. I don't know, but as soon as I saw Neowise, I mean, clearly it's coded. It's wise one. So
if a message were to come in the night sky, do you think they would be telling us?
Well, they disguised it. People are just like, Neowise. Like, most people don't even think to reverse it and call it wise one, unless you've done the research and stuff. But, they hide things in plain sight, Neowise,
Right.
How about that fucking court document, Steve?
That was crazy. Here,
What was the court document?
Where did you send me that?
Facebook.
Messengers or on my wall?
Messenger.
All right, let me just scroll back about a half.
It was basically all these organizations, like, the organization against child trafficking, child abuse, whatever, were suing basically fucking America, like including Obama and the Bidens and the Clintons and Google and and then like basically it got dismissed on June 1st because I believe it said something like the people who were summoned didn't appear, or they were not found.
Here, let me
You couldn't find Don Lemon? You couldn't find CNN? You couldn't find the Clintons or Jeff Bezos or?
No, but they can find you if you don't pay your taxes.
No, this is a real court document that I got off of California Gov, where the fuck. This is the video. And now all this guy does is it's a video of just going through the entire document. So this is everyone who was sued underneath. So Google, Obama, Biden, Hunter, the Clintons, Nancy Pelosi, all these people.
And that's why I'm telling people we should probably hop off the Google server sooner than later.
Right? George Soros, Open Society Foundations, University of Vermont,
Alphabet,
Alphabet.
DeepMind. Wow.
This is the court case for it. They didn't show up to none of this, or is this just what they've put on a public record?
Remember when they were saying like Hillary's going to show up to like a private court case and shit like that? Yeah. This was it, but like none of them like showed up
because they're all out of the country.
But they got the judges and lawyers in their back fucking pocket.
Oh, yeah.
The people who were suing them, if you scroll up, it's just like the AI organization. The world's people, victims of prosecution, rape, torture, concentration camps, sexual, human, and organ trafficking. So these are all just organizations that are against these things. And all these people have proof that these people did these things in China and other parts of the world.
Right.
That's how because you can't get this far without proof. They were
supposed to arrest Kissinger. So we heard that Kissinger was supposed to be being arrested in some other country. They had warrants out for him, all this stuff. He's still around. This is all, I think, just bullshit, who's going to put them in jail? Their own people? That's
what I'm saying. That's why people are like, how come they didn't show up? Because they don't have to, because they run the world. The judges are with them. The lawyers are with them.
The game is rigged in their favor. They own the game. They started the game. They've been running the game this whole time.
Back to that video.
They do not play by their rules.
No, exactly. Yeah. So what's good about this is we have something that is publicly, notated as a real thing. So like people saying, "Oh, you're crazy. They don't do this." No, they have proof because they couldn't get this far without that proof. This is all the things they're being sued for.
I think they put out stuff like this because this is what everybody wants, and it gives people a sense of something's getting done. Oh, good, look, somebody's handling it. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to, think about it any further because somebody's handling it. And then that's a false sense of, security in a way.
Well, that's why that's the point of the externalization of the hierarchy. It's like, hey, we're going to drain the swamp. We're going to do this. We're going to show you all the bad things these people do. But in reality, the most guilty point the finger first. You know what I'm saying? Let's say you just met this chick at a bar. She comes over. You go back home. Your wallet goes missing. It's secretly in her purse, but she'll help you look through the entire house for it until it was that guy at the bar. We got to go down there. But in reality, they're just robbing you,
Right. So listen, right here where you have it stopped, it says AI censorship and banning AI, Trump, China, and the weaponization of robotics with 5G and masking. Artificial intelligence dangerous to humanity with use of art. So isn't it interesting that they have 5G and masking in there? Because that masking is not the masking that we're doing now, but it's the same word. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it's even more interesting. They have Trump in there. So all the Trump supporters are going to be like, oh, they brought him to court, this, that, and the other thing. But they're not going to look at the point that Bobby said that none of these people actually showed up. No action.
Because they don't have to.
Yeah, bro. They're all friends with each other. It's like it's like me writing an article.
No, the whole point is that
you.
These things are happening, and like to me, this is a big cock on the table. Like these things are happening. We're not admitting it, but they're happening, and we don't have to show up for it. We don't have to answer to it.
You're right. Now, look, it says creating an artificial intelligence system that can recognize and decode if humans are resistant to artificial intelligence. Imagine that. So I have to stop here, Steve. Hold on a second. I was rewatching a show that I watched a long time ago. It's called Revolution. I told you I don't watch television. I'll just
You know what's funny about that? That's a show that has a power sigil as in their logo. But keep going.
The power sigil in the logo. And there is nanotech that got loose and has taken out the power. And this is 15 years into the blackout. It's a worldwide blackout. This nanotech got released. Now, the nanotech, Steve, I sent you a picture of it. They were looking inside a notebook. Once again, I always see these shows and movies where there's a notebook that's open. And if you ever see that, guys, you need to pause it and really take a look at what's in these notebooks because I've found so many nuggets. The nanotech, what they want to inject us with these vaccines, nanotech. This nanotech, if you can get it up, Steve, from your messages, looks identical to coronavirus. What they're showing you coronavirus looks like. So I find this very interesting that this is all correlating together. And he's like, oh, well, they're saying the virus looks like that. But the nanotech that they want to inject us with, which is the whole point to the facade of this fake pandemic, is to inject. And what they want to inject you with looks like this nanotech looks just like the coronavirus that they're telling you that you're going to die from. Can you find it?
Right here, I got it right here, and it's just crazy how people don't even know about nanotech, programmable matter, third DNA, Chang molecules, all this other crazy stuff. Not black goo. Oh, I already said that, programmable matter. It's just crazy. People don't know that there are bots or whatever you want to call them that can reassemble on your DNA line, and then therefore you have a new strand of DNA. You ain't a human no more, and you're probably wired into the 5G cloud that surrounds us right now. It's crazy.
Did I send you more than one picture? Because one of them's clearer than the other. But
I got them all. Okay,
great. When I saw this, now I'm just rewatching this show, just checking it out. There's not really much going on in my life. So, I can't always do research. Now, I don't watch television. Like I said, this is just a free site where you can watch as many episodes as you want, commercial free. And they start showing this nanotech and what it looks like. And I'm like, holy shit, that's fucking coronavirus. Which we know that things don't look like they tell us they look and don't really operate the way they tell us they do. So maybe this is what the nanotech looks like. They're showing us what it looks like, saying it's a coronavirus. You know what I'm saying? And this is what they want to inject us with.
honeycomb pattern up here with a black dot in the middle, just like the solar simulator.
Yeah.
This looks like some sort of Tesla technology tower. I'm just looking at all the possible outcomes. Over here, I see if the Earth were a globe, this is what Starlink would look like all around it, creating these giant hexagons everywhere. But I think they're going to do that over the plane. They're going to expand it over the plane.
That's what it looks like looking down on the plane at
Yes.
Skynet. The
Yes.
Neuralink will link up with the Starlink, and
Exactly.
you'll be to download it right into the cloud and all this stuff. The next picture over, I think, has a little bit more.
Well, yeah. Well, just like let's say Starlink rests at like 100,000 feet or something. If I'm 200,000 feet up, that's where I'm just going to see these patterns all over the face of the Earth.
Yes. And also in this show, this nanotech is self-replicating, and that's all it does. And it can be programmed to do anything at any time. It can heal your body. This is all in the show. It can heal your body. It could, regenerate tissue that's damaged, heal broken bones.
Wow. It would. Exactly. I was going to say it kind of prevents the involuntary aging that would
Exactly, dude. And if they want to program your nanotech in your body to suddenly have, faster, stronger, jump higher, all this stuff, they can program select people to have these abilities. This nanotech can literally, if you think about burning somebody to death, the people will just burst into flames.
Well, the thing is, like, I don't think they're going to do it like that, because if you don't get the vaccine, I feel like it can't kill you, but it can't affect you like it is now. It'll just give you a splitting headache. You get ringing in the ears. But back on the whole programmable matter thing, they're already doing stuff like this in the sports world, I've seen, because you got people like LeBron James, who's like 35, who still plays basketball like he's 20. And he gets taller and he gets stronger every year. The man spends $1 million a year on his body. I've worked at a nutritional store. There's no fucking way that's possible without using technology similar to whatever, this
Absolutely.
maybe.
Yeah, they're exposed to this technology before anybody else is. They're pretty much the guinea pigs for it, and they'll pay for it. They have the money to pay for it, and it benefits them. But it's going to be really, really, really bad if we get this stuff inside of us. Talk about losing your free will. You'll lose the freedom that you have just in your everyday flow of your body. The words that come out of your mouth will not even be yours. This thing will just totally take over. And everybody needs to avoid these vaccines at all costs. That's all I got to say about that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Until the mosquitoes come out and hit you with the vaccine.
The mosquito, the triple E.
They can't just do that to us, though. They have to trick us into wanting it. That's why they always use the Hegelian dialect. This is their MO, why they always have to tell us what they're doing. There is definitely some sort of a rule that, like inviting the vampire in. He can't just come into your house. You have to welcome him in. And then from there, it's like, oh, well, you let me in. Here I am. I'm fucking shit up now. So I don't think they're going to send out mosquitoes just to... inject us without us knowing it. They could have done that a long time ago. You see what I'm saying? Now, would these things make us sick in some way that we would need to go to them to get said injection? Most likely.
Most likely. It's probably going to look something like this.
Oh, that's Iron Man.
It's everything put in one.
Wow. Yeah. That's the nanotech right there. Yep. And this show Revolution right there, dude. That is the nanotech, just like you saw on that drawing. So, yeah. And they cut off, Revolution was only out for 2 seasons. It really, really started to get interesting, and then they cut it. They dropped it off. It never went back to season 3 or nothing.
Look at that. His mind is taken over. And did we see, and I don't know if you saw that, what time it was at?
No.
2:14. Hearts, Valentine's Day. Where does God dwell? In the hearts of men. Not
in the center.
Not anymore. If you get one of these things, if you get the update, turn into Iron Man or whatever. That's the real message there.
Yeah.
And at the end, it says, droid, an upgrade to your phone? No, it's an upgrade to yourself. Like,
exactly, dude.
Great.
Yeah. You don't want that Neuralink anywhere near your body, because that's what they're doing. We will literally be like puppets on strings at that point, because they can just do exactly whatever they want, especially if you go for it willingly and let them put this in you. Then that's giving them free reign to fuck up everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think you'll have there's no freedom in China, obviously, but the China credit system is just a near stepping point of what's really going to happen, because you know how they shame you on the wall and whatnot if you don't make your payments in time or if you jaywalk or whatever. It's going to be worse than that. They're just going to freeze you. Like, they're going to freeze your account. They're going to freeze you in the digital world, and you're going to be in digital purgatory or something where you're just, you gotta stand here and mine all day. That's your punishment. Go get us some Bitcoins. Go get us some Litecoins or whatever. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous the lengths these people go to.
I had to say something, Steve.
You did.
I did, dude.
Please hold.
Check this out.
I got a double ding. Here we go. Hold on. Jesus. Having technical difficulties over here. All right. Let me get that queued up. Big Bobby with a message. Hold on. Please hold. Jesus Christ. All right. Yeah, technology is supposed to help us out, right?
Sure.
Why is it so goddamn hard to use a fucking computer? What is this, bro? Checking my browser before accessing.
It's an Irish tech news website.
Oh, this looks like a interesting website.
Yeah, it's fun.
This
was 5 days ago, by the way, this article.
5 days ago.
5 days ago.
What do we got here? The Irish Tech News. You love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe not hit that button.
Okay.
Look at this thing.
Read it. Read the title.
Transhumanism in film. Are technologically enhanced beings are lesser or equal? What? Oh, are technological beings are lesser or equal? Interesting.
I also got it, like when I first clicked on it, it said transhumanism, evaluating reaction through cinema.
Yeah, that's how they do it. They watch us.
You know what? This whole equality with their rights and stuff for these cyborgs or whatever they are. It's my right to defend myself. So if I'm defending myself and you come at me with intent to kill or seriously hurt me, I have a right to defend myself. And if I kill you in that process, I cannot be held accountable for murder, manslaughter, or whatever, because it was self-defense. If these things are equal to us, and say somebody goes to damage or take out this robot thing or whatever, it could always say that it had self-defense and was defending itself and had to kill this human. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and the funny thing is with all these like robotic transhumanism movies and bits they've been putting out, all of it has been like normalizing it with the humans, like making you have feelings for it. Like in Transformers, when Bumblebee dies, like all the 7-year-old kids are fucking bawling their eyes out because a fake robot just died. They want to initialize that feeling, that link between the emotion. They want to trigger that emotion. Yep. Treat it like a human.
They want you to think of it as like it has emotions. It's human. It's sentient. There was a movie out a while back with this little kid who got a robot to be his best friend or something. And then eventually he just didn't bother with it anymore, would leave it out in the rain, all this stuff like that. And it was like everybody felt so bad for the robot. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not real. It's just, but they want to put that into people's heads that it has some sort of sentient life to it. And you're absolutely right with the whole Bumblebee thing and everything like that. They're indoctrinating the kids into this transhumanist mindset. It happened to us back in the 80s and 90s with Judge Dredd and what was the other one? Demolition Man and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of that, I found another article here.
RoboCop.
It says this UK-based Ukrainian woman entrepreneur is building a revolutionary, futurist, and transhumanist sex tech startup that teach people about sex via VR.
God damn, that's crazy.
Well, we're gonna have sex robots in the school soon to show the kids how to have sex with robots.
Look at this. 13 days ago, Trump challenged by a radical presidential candidate who's hoping to reverse aging. And
Yep.
that is the leader of the Transhumanist Party.
Yikes! Looks like a fembot.
Looks something.
Yeah, it's not good. Transhumanism TV, the 4400. Never heard of that. Probably a good spin-off of the 144,000, but that's okay. That's okay. What else we got? We've been looking at that for a while. Immortality or bust? Or bust. Transhumanism in the White House. I'm going to put my eggs in the basket of immortality because I'm busting, but they'll be essentially immortal.
How about the one above it?
What we got? I went right over that. Another one. What we got? Immortality of us follows a 2016 presidential candidacy. Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah.
Zoltan, whatever, from the Transhumanist Party. If someone believes that immortality is possible and wants to run for president, let their name be blah, 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 blah. That's interesting. Yeah, that's this guy right here. That's crazy.
Yeah.
They're like actual things, guys. Like we don't make these up, you know? Look at this.
I literally
Cyborgs and biohackers redefining beauty ideals, just like the fallen angels. Imagine that.
53 days ago.
Yep, of course,
And
53.
The Guidestones want you to prize beauty. And then you have all the beauty magazines and what we think is beautiful and how they've conditioned us to see these tranny men as beautiful women, especially the heterosexual men out there who lust after these women and wonder why their women don't look like them. That they'll need that to get off, but yet they got to go back and, be with their woman who's got curves and maybe he's a little too curvy, who knows, but even women try to look like these abominations and starve themselves, give themselves all type of psychological conditions because they don't fit the narrative of what they consider to be beauty.
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
And all I do to find the shit that we do, I literally go to Google and it's transhumanism and I just say news.
Yeah, that's where I am. Transhumanist news, and it's
I
just like
read articles from the real people.
Yeah, here, let's try this one. AR artificial intelligence. Sure. We'll do that. Type in COVID and check these stories out. These are interesting. Yep. See, I type in COVID and it still brings you to like some financial stuff. So it's just telling you that the next dollar is going to be digital in the AI world. So get ready for that. AI 50 founders predict what artificial intelligence will look like after COVID. Well, I'm sure everything is going to be artificial intelligence.
Oh, I got one for you, bud.
What do you got for me? Send it.
Check this shit out, dude. This was 2 days ago. I love it. I mean, I hate it, but boy, do I love it at the same time. 2 days ago, this article came out.
Get out of here.
Hurry up with digital dollar. Oh, now they're telling us to hurry up.
And then there's another one that's from the. It says how a digital dollar can make the financial system more equitable.
You know what's funny about that? I was just reading an article the other day how Japan is like trying to buy out other countries from like to deter them from going to China to come to them. They're trying to buy out, and they're probably doing it with digital money. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Top right there too. Go up a little
5.
more.
Where?
Go up a little more.
Can't. There we go.
There you go. Worthless coin. McAfee says he never believed Bitcoin would hit 1 million.
Well, too bad. Too bad he's probably wrong. Ridiculous.
Look how cool they make it look, dude.
I know.
Yeah.
Look at my see-through money.
Yeah.
And you got the CBDC, the central bank, something.
What people have to understand too is when the power goes out, and it most likely will at some point, if we're locked into a digital currency and everything's digital, everything goes down. You don't have nothing. You have nothing. Unless you have gold and silver and some other stuff to barter with, you got nothing.
Yeah.
What did that quote say?
Which one? This one or the bottom one here?
Top one.
Top one. We got,
Yeah.
therefore, it is understandable if they want to collaborate with other advanced countries and have an influence on the development of digital currencies. So Japan's like, yeah, if you don't want to go with us, you can go to India and get their Indian digital dollar, but don't go to those broke countries who take paper. Bad people. Bad people.
The Bank of Japan has already started working with the central banks of Britain, the Eurozone, Canada, Sweden, Switzerland on research in digital currencies. The United States is not included in the coalition yet.
Not yet, but they will soon, because we already had them talking about the military exchange wasn't taking coins. Now there's an actual coin shortage. China, at the beginning of all this, they were actually burning money because it was dirty. That was all part of the plan. Once they came out, once MIT and Bill Gates teamed up and said they have a tracker that they could, like a digital little infrared gun they could hit you with from, 50, 60 feet away to see if you got a vaccine or not. That was a telltale sign there was going to be a pandemic. And what's the first step they would do in a pandemic to roll out a new world order? Get rid of the money, because everyone's sick. Everyone's dirty. Everything's happening in the shadows while everyone's focusing on Donald Trump and Maxwell and all these hundreds of celebrities. Nothing's going to happen to them, but they are going to get exposed, but nothing's going to happen to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are going to know about X, Y, and Z. That's why people are hitting me up all the time. Like, yo, I thought this about that person, but I've been watching your stuff, or I saw Jen with this video and this person isn't who I thought they were anymore. I'm like, yeah. They're like, what's going to happen of it? I'm like, nothing. But knowing is literally half the battle. Knowing what to do with what you know is the other half. And you come as a man, you die as a man. It's that simple. No upgrades. No Iron Man technology. Iron Man, guys, you mix iron and clay. That's what they're going for in the end days. Bible. Scriptural. Come on. Here we go. When will the U.S. move? I wonder. If this is something that is going to be good for the United States economy and for the world's reserve currency, which is the dollar, then we need to be there and we need to understand it first and best. Nice.
Yeah, you just look through the articles that have been posted. I mean, 2 weeks ago, Forbes, U.S. moves closer to digital dollar. Digital dollar from Forbes again 1 month ago. Digital dollar project promotes Federal Reserve digital dollar. Digital dollar hearing round 2. U.S. Senate to examine future of money. China. What is the one about China? Said China is making cryptocurrency to challenge Bitcoin and the dollar.
Oh yeah,
that's what they're doing.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's absolutely crazy. But you guys want to take 5 real quick?
Yeah, I'm good. All
right, let me just put a little tune on. I think I got one queued. Let's see. There we go. All right, guys, we'll be right back in like 5 minutes or so. Don't go anywhere.
Come, I'll show you the sweetest delight in the garden. As a surprise for Adam.
Really?
Come.
All right.
Here.
But this is the one tree in the garden we cannot touch. This is the forbidden fruit.
Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? Surely not.
We may eat the fruit of any tree in the garden, except for the tree in the middle of the garden. God has forbidden us to either touch or eat the fruit of that tree, for if we do, we shall die.
You believe that nonsense? Of course you will not die. God knows that as soon as you eat it, your eyes will be opened, and you and Adam will be like gods yourselves.
One day we'll reach the level of the avatars that we have read about in history, the Buddhas and Jesus, infinite ones, God.
You ain't your servant, you cast your spell up on this planet with your graven images and your wishes to be worshipped. Witches and warlocks flock like Harry Potter fans, waiting for your new age plan to spread across the land. You got the masses dumped down where you want them, convinced that you don't exist, and now you got them atheist. Some even think they're evolving to a godlike level above and beyond human. These Luciferian lies feed on ego and pride. They come disguised as an angel of light, like the original sin and the first deception. The tree in the garden, don't you see the connection? It's the same old lie that he used back then at the beginning of time, at the fall of man. Have we forgotten the truth within the book of Genesis? Ignorant of the nature of sin, so we dismiss written words of God as an irrelevant myth, but then embrace all these new age thoughts of nonsense.
It's not good or bad. There's no God waiting to punish you because you did one or the other.
There is no God in doom. There is welcome to the kingdom of heaven without judgment, without hate, without testing, without anything.
Uphold my practices and pagan worshiping in fact exists. See through the smoke and the mirrors and the mist. From Atlantis to the Miriam fanatical myths, to the UFO connection with the German SS. Secret society elitists from the east and the west. Illuminati and Masonics, man, it all connects. Satanic worship to the depths we don't want to admit. It's a globalized illusion that we gotta correct. Check the symbols and signs like the all-seeing eye. Read the Bible facts to understand the great design. See the writing on the wall, we're living in end times. And even the elect have now bought into the lie. Real Satanists are dressed up in their suits and ties, eating the fruit like these fools who think they are divine. They aren't evolved, they're just blinded by ego and pride, living a lie that disguised like Jekyll and Hyde. Can you deny that these times were all prophesied? Read Matthew 24:24, you decide.
No such thing.
All right, we are back. We are live, and we are alive, fortunately. But Brian Staley sent me a funny little link. You ready to check this out, guys? We were talking about fake X and rockets and baloney earlier, and we got the United Arab Emirates will launch their first ever mission to Mars today. Watch live now, 6 hours ago. So I'm assuming this is all done by now, but hey, let's just I'm just gonna put this full screen on mute and let's just look at what they have to offer here. Let me just bring this back a couple seconds. We can talk over it. So oh God. Okay, let me turn that off because that just blew my face off. All right. Try that again. Oh, macro. Look at that tin foil. That's gonna last in space, baby. Look at that thing. Wow. A pool tarp. COVID in space. They're going to bring it. Watch, that'll be the next thing. Oh, they just brought COVID to space. What the hell? For any
gold foil.
Right, for any asshole who's watching this, they're like, oh, I still think COVID's real, blah blah. Dude, if COVID was real, you wouldn't see one plane in the sky. You wouldn't see them doing SpaceX launches with people, ISS people coming down. Everything would be locked the fuck down. Right, bro. You could actually go to the hospital and see people in line at the COVID testing sites that they've taken down everywhere. But I hear they're putting them back up because, the second wave's on the way.
Oh, yeah.
It's 98-degree heat, but I digress. So let's see what else these people have to offer. He seems rather passionate. There you go. The Hope Probe. Did you see that? That's what they're calling it. The Hope Probe. This is the Hope Probe. The black cube. Look at that. Wow. This is just a trash bag, people. Are you kidding me? The Hope Probe. Wow. Bunch of proud scientists. Yep. It reflects people's ambitions to go to space. 5'5". There you go. Jesus. Hold on. What do we got here?
It was like a plaque. Like people's signatures.
Yeah, I'm just making sure there's not any like crazy shit on there. But there probably is, but you know.
I couldn't read it.
I'm not a black magician. I don't know what all the symbols mean. And that too. I'm not multilingual. Wow. Okay, so real quick. It goes in here, into here, into a plane, and then they show you it taking off. Imagine that.
That's so amazing.
Wow, Bobby, did you see that?
It's pretty fast, man.
Oh no. 121.
Mm-hmm.
Just like World Economic Forum, just like Johns Hopkins University, just like all the good.
Is that Mars?
That's supposed to be Mars.
Mars has a moon?
Apparently. There it is.
Yeah, Phobos and Deimos. It has 2 moons. I studied all this stuff. Phobos and Deimos.
I never knew Mars had a moon.
Yep, 2 moons.
Impossible is possible. Out of one, many. That's what I see there, but what do I know? Just make YouTube videos. What
Every
the heck?
time I do that, out of one, many, I think of Legion.
Legion. I've never seen that.
Well, just the term Legion, like that one character or the one demon will be like, "We are Legion," but it's only one. But there's many.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I am one. We are many.
Yes,
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. Yo, where have I heard that before, Bobby?
Demons in your sleep.
I hope not, bro. Speaking of in my sleep, I had an interesting dream the other night. I had a dream that there was like a racial something happened where I live, and I got the shit kicked out of me. And then I woke up, and I was like, wow. It was crazy, dude. I saw myself in the mirror, like black eye, broken nose. I was like, damn. And then I woke up. So I don't know what happened, but it was like Minnesota happened in Springfield. Let's put it that way. That's what it seemed like. It seemed like that happened, and someone kicked me in the face, and then I woke up, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. That's an interesting take. So it just reminds me of the dream you had there a couple of weeks ago, Jen, when you were talking about, getting with the fence, we're behind the fence and whatnot. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just so maybe a glimpse.
I had a dream that was crazy like that. Fucking probably like 6-7 years ago. It was me and my family. We're on vacation, like a beach, and black cars rolled up and a men in a uniform, all black with guns, said, "You got to go home now." And everyone was forced inside their houses. The power was off, but the TV worked. It was like forced to work. And then there was a tidal wave coming. And they all brought us back into their homes. So while the elites evacuated, they shoved us back in our homes. And I ran outside. I fell down in the middle of the street. I looked up at this big wave. And before it hit me, I heard a voice say in my ear saying, "I'm coming. Tell them." And then the wave hit and I woke up.
That's awesome. That's sketchy, but awesome.
I'll never forget that dream.
I remember most of my dreams, man. I remember one time me and my boy were like hunting the Pope for some reason. This is before the whole conspiracy shit. I'm like, yo, why are we hunting the Pope right now? But just so crazy. And then we went down this giant hill, and like these dudes backed us into a corner, and right before he put his cigarette out on my forehead, I woke up. I was like, okay.
It reminds me of what they do with their rituals, where they send people out to run for their lives, and they do the hunt. It's a ritual where they hunt these people down, and once they find them, they torture them and rape them and do all kinds of stuff before they kill them. And then, of course, drink their blood probably because their adrenaline's running crazy.
Yeah.
Bro, did you see that what I just sent you, dude?
I didn't, but I heard it.
Bro.
Oh. Sorry.
Who is that? Is that the Jones guy?
Uh-huh. I said, let me go to his website, see what he's promoting. And this was on the front page. Buy one, get 4 free. It's a mask.
Nice. Yeah, fuck that shit.
Oh my God. If they're buy one, get 4 free, there's something in there that you're not supposed to be breathing. So there's that. They don't give you free shit that benefits you, people. If they did, water, housing, food, that'd all be free.
Also,
but
anyone who's still out there saying that he's a good guy.
Everything we
course.
buy is poison. So if they're going to give out something for free, it's got to be extra poisonous because it's in our clothes, our bedding, all of our food, the water, the air has been toxified. If they're going to give you something to put near your face or on your face or to use that's free, even the vaccines, none of it's good.
The thing is, Jen, there's so many people in this world that like they're so well off that they're like, oh, I'll just take this free thing. I don't really care. But then you, like you said, there's other people that kind of are looking for that deal. They need that little break in their life, and they'll take the free way out. And it's just so crazy. And if they do like roll around with a free vaccine, I wouldn't be surprised.
There's your free will to either have the knowledge before you buy a product, or if you're ignorant and you just, that willful ignorance and you just go buy it, trusting the FDA approved label on it, whatever it might be. There's that difference that people don't look into anything. They just trust it. They don't they give up their free will to decide for themselves and just go for the promotion and then get sucked in by it. It's like auto buy, auto purchase.
The funny thing is, like, you have all these healthy people that are they're getting their free vaccines every year at CVS and Walgreens and whatnot, and it just doesn't make sense to me. It's like, oh, I'm 100% healthy. Let me go get a vaccine that's for free. Oh, now I got the flu. How many times are you gonna fall for this, people? Every year, people get flu shots, and then there's a flu outbreak.
Bruh.
People die.
I ranked on Friday. One of my jobs I had. This lady. We were talking about Bill Gates, and I was like, he's a creep. I said all the things like he wants mandatory vaccines and ID 2020, and she's like, oh, he didn't say none of that. So I showed her everything he said, and she kept spinning it like, oh, well, he probably meant. And so then I showed her the TED Talk where he said with vaccines we can get population down to 15%, and she just looked at me, and then she was like, well, you know what? I believe in him, and I volunteered to sign up when the vaccine comes out. I get it for free, and when I get it, I'm doing it so I can protect you.
Oh my God.
And I'm looking at him like, are you high?
They're doing something good. They're brainwashed like to the hilt. I can't even believe
this lady was like when she broke it down into this one, I'm protecting you, Bobby. I'm gonna protect you and your family. And I looked at her and I'm like, are you high? And she's like, what? It's like, what? I'm like, there's nothing to protect me from. There's nothing out here.
Yeah.
There's nothing here.
She's already gone. She's beyond repair. That woman. She's already dead.
She just like smiled at me and walked into her house. I'm like, she's fucking like middle conversation. It was like a demonic possession.
Wow.
Like the person who was there was just gone. Now this thing was telling me.
You can actually show somebody the truth, and they're still like, well, I don't care. I like this person. I'm going to support them. I had that happen a few times with my mother. She's really into. She's a movie buff. And she has her favorite actors and actresses, and she'll be like, oh, I don't really care for that actress. I don't want to watch that movie. Or I really like this guy, and I love watching all his films. And I'll tell her about this guy actually being male or female to male or something, male to female, whatever it is. And that, they've been in this cabal all their lives. They're Luciferian, and I start breaking all that. But she still don't care. She really likes their acting skills and their demeanor and everything, and makes it okay for her. And I'm just like, yeah, no.
This dude, it's so ridiculous. It's like people signing up to go see that Irishman film by Robert De Niro, even though he was a pussy motherfucking loser. I don't use that terminology too often, but he is, because he backed out of the Vax movie. That would have maybe fucking that would have changed the world if there was a real name on it, because no one's going to watch a film done by True Seeker 69, Bobby Stevens, Steve JMO, even Richie from Boston. The public ain't going to go. That's not going to be a box seller. But you see De Niro's name on there, it could be a movie about fucking shaving your asshole, and people will watch it. You know what I'm saying? So
called The Outer Rim.
Exactly, and he did a great disservice to himself and humanity by backing out of that movie, and they had to re-release it with just a regular narrator. It's disgusting.
People know them by their fruits, and he showed
exactly
on that one. If he was dedicated like he supposedly was, he would have stuck with it, and he seemed pretty dedicated in the beginning. But these people are master deceivers. And they will reel you in just to bait and switch, and then they love doing that. They love getting people rallied up behind them. There was a lot of YouTubers out there. The one guy, I forget his name, he used to go around with a megaphone over there in in the UK. Totally into 9/11, all this stuff about what's going on with the governments. And then one day he just flips a switch like Joe Rogan. So they do this crazy stuff.
Excuse me. Yeah, Joe was a real.
Joe got bought.
Yeah.
Of course, and then he got
was
bought again.
already owned to begin with. There was no getting bought. He was never what we thought he was. He's showing his true fruits now of what he's always been, a deceiver. He reeled people in with his charm and his good, the shows he had on and all these, whatever he did with boxing and stuff. The
MMA that he, does UFC, but like his podcast when he first started was good, but then he kept talking about it, and like one day he gets signed to a deal. He becomes the biggest podcast in the world. He gets a show called Joe Rogan Questions Everything, where he mocks every conspiracy theory that's ever been out there, as they call it. Like, yeah, he was on that level, but like you could see, like they didn't want him talking about it, even though he was already bought. They didn't want him even questioning a moon landing, so he had to do another ritual. They gave him a little bit more money, and he became a full blown shill.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I used to think like that. But now I've come to realize, for me anyway, that this was in the plans all along. They were meant to come out and get a large grouping of people behind them because they like them for whatever reasons and stuff, and they seem legit and everything. We've seen this many times before. And then, they flip the switch and try to take as many people with them as they can. To keep them on that level of deception. Joe Rogan was a deception from day one. Alex Jones was a deception from day one. They always come out seeming like they're good guys and have good information and they're on our side. And then we, come to find out that's not the case.
Best part about me being 25 and waking up only 5 years ago is I missed the Joe Rogan wave. I missed the Alex Jones wave. When I woke up and started researching stuff, it was pretty much just like Eric Dubay, Mark Sargent, and I kind of just took off from there. I never went through that whole like I got my own radio show studio set up. Second I saw that, I was like, he's got purple and blue in the background. I think I'm good. And he's fucking spazzing out. I'm like, some of his stuff is okay because like he had some good FEMA stuff, some good the underground tunnels and Walmart stuff. He was good on that back in the day talking about Jones, but he was just always too erratic, you know what I'm saying? Just crazy.
Yeah, well, that was the whole thing.
Oh, absolutely. Then back on Joe, I agree with you, Jen. It's like it was always part of the plan. It's like, just don't talk about this, and this, and we'll give you your money later. But before you do that, you can talk about these things over here. We're going to give you this really shitty show on Spike TV. I don't know if you remember Fear Factor, but that was a strange show. And
he got paid for that show.
I know, but not the first 2 seasons when he still had like that shitty looking hair. When he started cutting the hair and started looking like a decent human being, that's
fucking amount of money that dude made on just hosting that show. He didn't even have to eat a dick. He just was just like, all right, you step up. And I'm like, dude, this can't be real. There's no way he's making this much money.
And he was
millions.
And
he's a sucker of Satan's cock.
It's fucking unbelievable.
And they were like, we're gonna give you this cheesy role here on Fear Factor. You can start your own podcast where you do, you touch on how moon landing was fake, space might not be real, but when we give you that UFC contract, we're gonna have to stop talking about all of that, ridicule everything you've ever looked into on the other side, and then in 10 more years, whoa.
Sorry, that was me. Sorry.
And then in 10 more years, we'll give you that. What did you just get? A $50 million Spotify contract or $100 million? Something like that. So
$100 million.
$100 million.
Spotify.
So they sat him down clearly in like the early 2000s, late 90s, was like, if you can just buckle through the next couple of years of looking like a loser.
It was a humiliation ritual.
Exactly. Your apprentice ritual. Exactly. Mm-hmm. It's what's happening to the United States of America right now. It's getting embarrassed. It's getting completely humiliated. It's getting it's a get into the New World Order. And who's in office right now? Well, just the man who was the star of the TV show The Apprentice. And that should be alarming, not just the fact that he was a star of the TV show The Apprentice, but the fact that the president of the United States was a star of a fucking TV show. That should be
not only that, but how's Alex Jones still going?
I don't know. He took
You know what I'm
himself
saying?
on YouTube to look legit, and then he brought himself on. He's crying. They took me off. They took me
Right,
off.
but like
But
that should
then
be alarming people.
Well, he was on the Joe Rogan show, and Joe was like, "Well, weren't you planning on stepping away?" He's like, "Yeah, but they took me down. They took me down."
They're best friends. They've been best friends for 20 years.
Oh, of course.
Joe Rogan, good old Alex Jones over there.
Yeah, they were like, they
Like,
sat them
no
both
one's gonna
down.
tell me it's because people are buying Brain Force from Alex Jones' fucking
Yeah.
shop. That's why he's still afloat.
Oh,
He got paid. He did what he was supposed to do. He put out a lot of disinformation, a couple bits of truth here and there, got a big gathering, and then fucking they took him off. So then all the disinformation he put out there, people would now believe is truth because, oh, why would they take him off the airways if he was lying? So they believe all this disinformation. He got paid. He's sitting back, getting fatter by the day, and he don't give a fuck.
Nah, they don't give a shit about anything.
It's like Alex Jones, like, oh, I broke into Bohemian Grove. You broke in to Bohemian Grove, a place where senators, presidents, and ex-presidents and ex-senators all hang out. You just waltzed on in without any security. Stop it. You're a plant. They allowed you to film that stuff because it was part of the domino fall.
Yeah, and they want you to know what they're doing, and they use him or anybody else as a funnel to get that information out. As, oh, look what they're trying to hide from us. But this is their way of telling us what they're doing and what they're going to do and stuff, and what they've been
Yeah,
up
but they should be like, who's telling us this information? The people who are actually executing the orders, and they're just pointing out the stupid people who got caught doing it, you know? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. This is how they do it. They put their own people in jail to make themselves look legit, or let's put it this way, or they put their own people in jail because those are the ones who were maybe second guessing the whole time. Like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, but now they're going to get put away somewhere where they can't talk or expose the agenda for what it really is. So it could be a both way type deal, but it's crazy.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
You tell it to me, Bobby.
I just think it's just comical to me. You know, because like you got these people who make so much fucking money, and it's like, I could be like that. Like I love that American dream narrative. Go chase. You could do whatever you want. No, you can't. Unless you're willing to do this, and this, and that, you know what I'm saying? Like the Freemasons who come after me all the time, try to get me to join because they tell me my bloodline's good. I'm cool, thanks. Appreciate the offer. Thanks for stalking me, but I'm good. You know, I've talked to a lot of high degree Masons and the things that they did, the things that they were videotaped doing, like having sex with a 15-year-old drugged up girl. While they filmed him doing it so he couldn't reveal any secrets.
Sounds like a humiliation ritual if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, like the girl was masked, but she was drugged. He was fully naked, not masked, and the camera was, there was a couple angles, and like there were people in the room all masked. The only person you knew who was him. That's
sketchy. That sounds like the CERN thing, bro. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but it's what they make you do, so you shut up. Wow. If you come out and start talking, well, here's a video of you having sex with a 15-year-old girl. Oh, and she looks drugged up. Now you go to jail for 25 years.
Exactly.
Where you get killed inside that said prison.
That's crazy. It's just so crazy how this world works, man. And it's funny how like this dude here in the chat, Golden Mask, asks, "Are you a traveling man?" Like that's literally what I was going to ask you if they asked you that, you know. Because that's one of their ways. Like, hey, you a traveling man? If you're like, well, I go to the beach sometimes. Nah, you're not a Mason. You're not worth talking to. But if you do happen to say, yes, I am, I've been looking east for the answers, they'll be like, well, let me show you some answers. You know, if they're a higher degree than you, because they all have little secret ritual phrases and pass keys, whatever you want to call them. You know, symbols. Here's an example of one right here. Probably the most blatant, obvious one. Not the Simpsons one. We'll get to that in just a second. But, you know, just right on film, right on camera. You got Ronald over here, Mr. Reagan, and, yeah, the old Freemason handshake. But, you know.
My great-grandfather was a 33 Mason. Yeah, I've had 8 33-degree Masons in my family. both on both sides of the family. So I know a lot. There was a lot. I read a lot of books. I read a lot of books that here's something that should alarm people. When you die as a Mason, especially a high one, they come and pick up your books that were given to you by Masons.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
You can't keep those.
Yeah. They get a Masonic Bible too, and they take that back usually.
I looked at that. That's a little creepy.
Yeah.
I looked a lot of journals though. Like a lot of people publish their journals and what they went through. And from what I've known from experience with my family, when you first become a Mason, you have to believe in something, whether it's Jesus, Allah, whoever. You have to believe in a higher power. But when you become a 33-degree Mason, it's a whole weekend in Washington, D.C., and then near the end, you walk into a room and they say, "Are you a believer in Jesus Christ?" If you say yes, they say, "Okay." When you walk out of the room, make a right. If you say no, they say walk out of the room and make a left. And that's how they decide. That's how you know if you abandon your ways. Because by the time you get to 33-degree Mason, you should know this is not a Christian.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait.
It's like a litmus test.
Yeah. But because they asked my grandmother, and all of them have said yes. And they just died 33-degree Masons, but they said, there was a lot of people in that no room.
I bet there was.
A lot of people in that no room. Something like that. So people go, well, how do they pick? How do they know? Well, it's pretty simple.
Oh, hold on. Marika says something interesting here. She says, because Masons aren't supposed to have their knowledge in writing, it's supposed to be in their heads so the secrets won't get out. I had made mention on the show yesterday with Reality Sliders, Shifters, and another lady, Ann Della, that the Bible's supposed to be written on our hearts. I don't think it was ever meant to be written on ink and paper. That it was supposed to be handed down through the generations, and that way, because our memories haven't changed during this Mandela effect. The ink and the paper has, though, and I find it interesting that they were not supposed to have theirs in writing. It was supposed to be memorized.
Yeah, and like I was pointing out earlier with that Droid DNA commercial, the timer or the time on the phone was 2:14. Valentine's Day, hearts. God dwells in the hearts of men. I know on the surface it looks like he's Iron Man, but we got to dig deeper. You got to dig deeper. If God dwells in the hearts of men and they want to program your DNA and change your DNA, well, who do you think's going to dwell in your heart then?
Exactly, dude.
Even if you want it to be God, they won't allow that thought with the technology they have. We're not there yet because they haven't rolled it out yet. They have it, but the time's not ready. The dollar is still – I have a dollar bill right here in my hand. This is still going around. Once the dollars are stopped, once they drop the currency, that means their plan is finished. Their plan is on the American $1 bill, and it's the only dollar bill that hasn't changed since its inception.
Yep.
Everything on it is the same. It's just a little bit bigger, or the writing's a little bit clearer, I guess. I don't really care or know, but it's just once the dollar is gone, the plan is over. So once that happens, you better be in the hills.
Yeah, and then they have the Starlink, which is really like a fallen angel link.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
And then they have the Neuralink, the nanotechnology, which is instead of a chip, they put in nanotech, which we've already gone over that, which will Neuralink you right up and link you with the fallen angels, and you're done.
It's ridiculous, dude. I don't see how people don't see this coming. It's just it's coming right down the pike, people. Like they've had the Transhumanist Bill of Rights, and every couple of years they add on like 20 articles. Like now I think it's like 60 articles or something. There was originally like 12, and then there was like 30, and now there's like 60. So when version 4 comes out, I'm sure there'll be some more interesting articles and bills and whatever on there. It's just crazy how they have their own Bill of Rights, and in reality, they don't even follow the human Bill of Rights.
Right. Yep.
Interesting stuff.
So when are the aliens coming?
That's a good question, Bobby. That's a good question because
they keep talking about meteorites. Like 3 times a day, they talk about, that was close. Another meteor, one right by us.
It's just funny because before COVID took off, I feel a lot of people here in the chat, myself and a couple other YouTubers I know and talk to daily, they all had their eggs in the basket that alien deception would be the grand illusion. I don't know any more about that. I think that'll just be the icing on the cake. I thought that would be hook, line, and sinker, but they got everyone thinking they could catch a virus from being 6 feet away from each other with a mask on. You know what I'm saying? So once that gets rolled out, that'll just be like, oh, look, look at that.
Maybe they scrapped it. Maybe they were like, you know what? These people are really fucking stupid. We don't even need all that shit. Put the
Well,
back. We only need that.
Well, I mean, they got the solar simulators up. They have Starlink up, and I feel once they throw a blue beam projection in the sky, they could just make I don't know what they can do, but they're going to make it look really real. But at the same time, guys, they've normalized us truthers with blue beam. So let's say something does appear in the sky. We could just write it off and be like, that's blue beam. But in reality, it's like, I don't know, Lucifer's ship or whatever, the dragon, who knows, some weird shit. You have SpaceX, the Dragon, it's just weird, dude. Falcon 9 is 33 in numerology, but, I just make things up. I bet Elon Musk is too. Give me a second over here. What do you got, Bobby? You got anything?
What?
I don't know.
No, it's just like, because like when Reagan was talking about that was what, 80 something, right?
86.
So like back then, it would, people back then wouldn't be afraid of COVID. If they did COVID back then, no one would be afraid of it. They were hardened people. They were like, I don't give a fuck, dude. We just came off the back of 3 wars. We don't.
Dude. When I was working at the restaurant, that was mainly like old people would come in and eat. They were making fun of the news. They're like, "We survived the Spanish flu, you bitches." I'm like, whoa.
Exactly. So those people are so, you can't. There's WW1, WW2. You can't kill them if you fucking tried.
I know, my
They're
boy,
just hardened.
the old man Ruby at the counter, he was like, they've hit me with so many things. I'm not getting this vaccine. I'm done. I'm done with this. No more flu shots. No more of this. I've survived it all. If it takes me out, then God let it be. I'm like, there you go. God let it be. If it's your time, don't try to fix that because he's not going to like that. It's just crazy, dude, how people are afraid of God, bro.
Back then in 86, an alien invasion, especially because of all the movies, Crooks Center of the Third Kind, all that shit like that, like leading up to it, that would have scared the fuck out of people. But now people are so docile because of all the chemicals and bullshit, all the vaccines, that they literally are afraid of things they can't see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They just created a fear-based mentality in everybody. And, I thought we were screaming pretty loud through this first wave of masking and stuff. It seemed to be taking off pretty good, but in the flip of a switch, they just enhanced the fear factor 100-fold, started jacking up their numbers, and we see that we barely made a dent at all because literally 99% of the people out there now are wearing masks. I'm like the 1% out there who's not. I'm literally like one of the only ones.
Oh, I feel those eyeballs, man.
Yeah.
I love it. What's this, 6 hours ago? What?
NASA, House Space Agency was forced to admit there's a possibility aliens are out there, and they give you the gray, the thing that Aleister Crowley conjured into existence. What was its name again? Lamb. That's right, LAM. Let's see what that looks like, people.
Not good.
No. Oh, that's a lamb. Okay, let me just there we go. There you go, people. This is what Aleister Crowley conjured into existence in the 30s or 40s. I can't quite remember. And ever since then, we've had a non-stop bombarding about these things.
Yep.
This was a admitted demon. This is a alien from outer space, allegedly. You can find the difference, What a bunch of baloney, dude. What a bunch of baloney.
Well, Roswell helped it happen in 45, right? 46 or something like that.
Yep, it was right before then. And then they had the lights, the UFO lights over DC. And then they literally asked, who was it, John D. or was it Jack Parsons? They were like, do you have anything to do with this? And he said, I don't know.
Sick.
Yeah.
Sick, dude, right, bro? Like
And
this
clearly,
is the dude who is it? Because Crowley was dead, so they had to continue the work like Masons do. Obviously, they had to. Who is it? Jack Parsons, John D, and one other asshole. It might have been a
Ron
rocket.
Hubbard.
L. Ron Hubbard. They did a 3-month ritual called Babylon Rising, and then Roswell happens. These lights show up over DC. All this crazy shit starts to happen, and then they're like, "Did you have anything to do with this, sir?" I don't know.
Isn't L. Ron Hubbard the fucking Scientology fuck?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Makes sense.
And then you have Jack Parsons Laboratory, JPL. That propulsion laboratory, but we all know it. Jack Parsons. He allegedly died in there constructing a rocket. So I think, yeah, but the original, well, not the story that I've heard is that he was in the middle of a ritual and died, and the reason why you see all these, events in the sky is because he never. Let's say you cast a spell on someone and then you die. That spell is on that person forever because you can't break that bitch. The person who cast it on you died. So imagine this dude opening a portal and then dying.
You can't cast the spell can close the spell or reverse it. Not anybody else.
Right.
It would take a lot, I guess. I don't know how that all works, but he opened up something. He didn't finish the ritual, or he didn't close the door and end the ritual. And Lamb brought a bunch of his buddies with him. It looks like.
Yeah, that's where we get the tarot and the darrow from.
Most likely, yeah.
Well, I mean, the Darrow were those blonde-haired, blue-eyed looking beings that, are just myth. They're just myth in every single culture up north. And then you have the Greys, the Darrow. Could be the ant people. Who knows? And they're coming from inside of the earth.
You put antennas on that thing. It looks like an ant. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And the real funny thing is, and how that the story about the Tarot and the Darrow is that they hated each other so bad, but they had no idea that they were both taking orders from the same dude. Mm-hmm. How fun! Democrat, Republican, right there for you people.
Dude. Exactly.
I think we're all glossing over the biggest thing here, and that this dude found proof there's aliens and they're on the sun.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up next. Look at that. Yeah, UFO hunter says he's finally found proof of aliens and they're on the sun. Dun
Dude.
dun.
This is even funnier than learning the truth. Space becomes funnier every day.
Oh yeah, it's hysterical.
Aliens are living on the fucking sun. Okay, cool, sick.
How crazy!
They're fire beings.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. They're living in underground tunnels on Mars. That's right, from 2 days ago.
Lava.
But then, at the same time, who's going to find them today? United, what is it? The Emirates or whatever they are, whatever that rich ass country is over there in the desert. They sent a rocket up today allegedly to Mars, so they're gonna go find these aliens in the lava.
First off, how do you know?
They experts suspect. So
I love that shit. That's like that shit you get. Like when I used to be really big into sports, and you would see like a rumor, and you'd be like per sources.
Mm-hmm.
So-and-so's getting traded today. Like, well, who's the source? Oh, per source, dude. Per scientist, aliens live underneath Mars. Oh, okay.
Look at this. UFO sighting. Rainbow UFO spotted over the Philippines. Proof aliens are watching.
Yo, click that up. I want to see that.
More like proof that your creator is watching. And he's probably pissed. There you go, bro. I don't care what this video is about. It tells you who's behind it right there, bro. Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I make things up. Wow. That's the pause screen. Wow.
Hold on. How about that?
Baffled right now. They just put a Rosicrucian on TV.
Bro, you're baffled? Are you seeing the shit on the sidebar? The secret U.S. military device for seeing the paths within a specific location?
What the fuck?
That's what it says. Go on with the rainbow fucking aliens, dude.
This is ridiculous, dude.
Is great.
This is ridiculous. And real quick, before I forget this, it's just been something I've been thinking about a little bit lately is December 21st, 2010. That is one of the craziest days in history because that's when Orion's belt had the blood moon sitting right on top of it for 72 minutes. And I don't quite know where I was going with this, but it's just an interesting thing. So I was looking at this Brazil thing, and it just took my train of thought and just sent it. Oh no, the Zodiac. And on that same day, you know what they did? They added that 13th Zodiac. Imagine that.
Oh, yeah.
Now they're saying that they didn't.
Oh, of course not.
I saw articles today saying no, NASA didn't discover a new star sign. Calm down, you freaking conspiracy theorist.
Oh yeah, that was a big thing a while back, 5 years ago. Ophiuchus.
What the fuck am I looking at?
They're calling that a UFO.
That's the solar simulator, dude. That's the patent for it. You see those fucking objects in the patent.
I'm thinking they're taking this through a glass window and something is just in the room. That's what it seems like to me.
That patent for the solar simulator has those 3 parts, and that's identical to the way they're lined up too.
Man claims object in Seattle is aliens monitoring Earth. Yep, that's what they're doing, dude. They're fucking these beings, bro. If you were an advanced civilization from another planet, let's be logical. If you came from another planet and you saw us and you go, oh, they're still using combustion, let's take them over. There's no way you would just hang in the sky. Like, let's be logical about it. That's it?
That's it.
This is the fucking UFO? Fucking
yeah. So somebody caught part of the simulator on camera and they're calling it a UFO. That's what I think, because that's identical to the way the patent's set up for it. The way those 3 parts are lined up and kind of curved over.
You think? I kind of think it's one of those lens flares from a window.
No, I think that's for me, that's what it looks like. If it's not a lens flare, it's the solar simulator.
I mean, yeah, I could see it. It has the 3 parts, but why would it be that small in the sky?
I don't know, dude.
There's something
How high up is it? I don't know.
I don't know.
How many of those things do they have, that go around the sun or whatever? Who knows?
Oh, I'd say a couple. A good couple. They got plenty of those. It's ridiculous. But
there have been people who caught the simulator, the lenses up there and stuff.
Didn't I just say it was rainbow?
It did, bro, and that was green.
That was like turquoise. What's going on over here?
Yeah.
Anything rainbow bricks, rainbow this, whatever. They want that rainbow shit in there, dude.
They do. They hijacked that rainbow big time.
It's crazy because what they're pushing for, dude, is just the most mental shit in the world. Like you talk about all the time is like the reversing, not even the reversing, just the canceling of sexes,
Yeah.
And replacing it with the word gender was the first step, and then normalizing it with like making people like Jeffree Star an internet sensation. Like that's gonna pique the mind of your average teenager and be like, ooh, I could be all pretty too. It's like, nah, bro, like go put on a pair of basketball shorts and let's go get muddy. Like that's what it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to be dressing up like a fucking doll, bro. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, this world. One of my mom's friends came up to me the other day and was like, aren't you so proud of Jack? And Jack is, by the way, Jack is Jenna. Jack is a female. She's like, aren't you proud of Jack? She started taking her testosterone pills. And I was like, I didn't say nothing. I just looked at her. I looked up at the sky with this most like blank look on my face. And I just stood up and I walked away. And I was like, I can't do this. Like, it was like the scene out of like one of those like movies where like, or a TV show where like someone says something to you and then I get up, walk away, tell you like how I really feel and go back in the scene like, oh, nice. And then I just walk. I didn't even say all night. I was just like, oh.
Bro, there was a episode.
Away.
It was an episode of Family Guy.
Baffled.
There was an episode of Family Guy where Peter went to like see a movie. I think it was like a chick flick or something. And then like he was like, it was like a quick scene. He's like, oh, this better not be as bad as that time I saw that movie. And it flashes over to him, and then he just says done and walks up and just walks out of the movie theater with his hands up. Done. That's what I do that a lot.
Yeah, dude. I'm real bad at hiding facial expressions. Like if you're acting like an asshole, I'm gonna look at you like an asshole. It's that simple.
Where'd it go? What the hell? Dude, I just had this thing pulled up.
It's gone.
Here we go. I went to Twitter, I went to Explorer, and I saw this. 4 hours ago, Bloomberg. The U.S. isn't ready for wars of the future.
What do you mean by that?
It says AI will allow military decision markers to streamline complex logistics, analyze opponents' moves, make better tactical choices in combat. We can have better drones, cars, heavy land vehicles, surface ships, submarines.
So I don't know if you guys have seen that show, The 100, but the reason I know space is fake, it's a dumbass TV show, but they have to flee to space to live for like 100 years. But the reason they have to do that is because the AI that this one person created sent a virus to every single computer in the world, hacked every single military system, and just started flaring off like atomic warheads.
Whoa.
Yeah, so like you just saying that just reminds me of that TV show. That doesn't normally happen to me. Normally I'll say something outlandish and they'll be like, oh, like in that TV show I watched last night? I'm like, no, like in that article I read last night. But sure. Maybe Hollywood's telling you the plan because they want you to not be alarmed when you see warheads in the sky. I know that's probably not going to happen, really outlandish, but still, let's say that did happen. You'd be like, oh, look, it's just the TV show, blah, blah, blah. What do we got? Sharks spotted along the coast of Massachusetts. You love to see it. That show we did, I still get updates about local news all the time.
Check out what I just sent you.
Where we at? Facebook, Twitter? Oh, we're on the book. The book. I got it. Hold on. The book. Das Book. We'll close the sightings and we'll go to the book. DuckDuckGo, people. Get off Google.
All of this legitly just posted 4 hours ago. All these stories about AI and how the United States isn't ready for future wars.
Just like how we Googled the word NWO the other day and hit news stories, and a lot of them were AI based, but you know, I digress. What do we got here? What do you got for me, Bobby?
So Bloomberg was like listing the things that we could use. So this is number 4, and it's space. It says there are more than 2,600 satellites orbiting Earth. That's one tick. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Hundreds of them military in nature, used for surveillance, communication, interceptions, intelligence, precision targeting, counter space operations. So these are they're listing the things that the United States is not ready for when it comes to the future wars, and because we don't use as much AI as other parts of the world, they're saying.
So all these satellites are American? I mean, you never hear about all these other countries putting satellites up all the time.
Well, how come there's no pictures of any satellites in space?
Check this out. And as I'm going down the list, this is number 5.
Hold on. Let me go to my messages, Mr. Bobby. It sucks I have to like refresh it on Facebook. I wish I could just hit next picture. What do we got? Mr. Sani, Biotech, Bloomberg. Here you go.
If the pandemic has taught us nothing else, it's that we should respect potential for biology to change our lives in an instant.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, the future will almost certainly include sophisticated bioweapons developed in labs.
Wow.
Yeah.
This was all 4 hours ago. They just put up this whole string of tweets and articles about how the U.S. ain't ready for future wars because of our lack in AI.
Yep.
I mean, like, the funny thing is how, like, how many movies have showed us, like, I know it's not going to be a bio weapon or whatever, but how many movies have showed us, like, it's going to look like a bio weapon, believe me. You know, something may happen that you'll see gas in the sky. And, oh, it's a bio weapon. Like, nah, they just gassed your ass and killed you. But in reality, but on the flip side, you know, people have been watching movies for the past 10, 20 years maybe. I Am Legend. How many bug outbreaks and what's that? What were we talking about? The Maze Runner.
Yep.
Even in the show The 100, Altered Carbon, all this other stuff where they have to alter their fucking DNA happens because of a bioweapon or pandemic outbreak. But yet again, I digress. Take it away, Bobby.
Yeah, they would never just come out with this type of tech and get people to inject themselves with it and link up to everything. They have to have another means to get it inside us, and this is what they'll do.
Yeah. But the thing it was curious to me, in the other picture, it said 2,600 satellites orbit Earth. That's it? Wasn't there like 17,000? They said.
More
I was
like
thinking that.
35,000, but there's like 15,000 that are just junk. They just float around, even though they're not caught on camera and the ISS or anything like that. They're there though. They're there. I seen it on CNN.
Exactly. But like 2,600? That's a really, and like no one's like calling it, like, you know what I'm saying?
No, they're putting satellites up every other day.
Every other day. They got
Yep,
brand new ones, but there's only 2,600 up there.
You have to be doing something with all that money.
It's ridiculous. So ridiculous.
Literally faking shows, sit on their ass, and they're just looking at you, go, whoa.
What the hell,
What's a good way
man?
to get more money, guys? Let's tell them we're going to Jupiter.
I mean, the fucking Emirates, they're going to
No
Mars
money,
today.
Jupiter.
So
Jupiter or bust.
get ready for Mars because Emirates are going to be.
They're gonna
pictures.
And they're gonna find the aliens that are underneath the frozen lava or whatever. Can't wait for that.
Where's Mars again? Is that Greenland?
Yeah.
Either there or the Nevada desert. Who knows? Who knows?
Because like,
Mars is in many locations.
I remember when I was telling people in like 2014, I'm like, when the rover was first popping off of pictures, I'm like, bruh, that ain't it. And they're like, no, look, they're on Mars. I'm like, that's not it, bro. And then like the first thing I'm like, okay. And I had 2 pictures from the 2 days. I was like, who cleaned the fucking thing? It was dirty yesterday. Today it's brand new. So who cleaned it? And my friends are like, solar winds. I'm like, sure. Solar winds. And then the granddaddy of them all, that picture came out from Mars with a bird in the sky. And like, nope, everyone was like, hey man,
I saw that.
Shit that we don't know about. Maybe they have birds. I'm like, maybe they have birds. The planet can't host no life, but it has birds.
Yeah.
That's
I
what-
remember when they thought they found trees on Mars, and I was looking at all those pictures. These are supposedly NASA's pictures of Mars, and people zooming in on them and stuff. And oh, look, there's trees, there's life, there's grass, there's frozen water over here.
It's ridiculous, dude. It's like them finding the mouse there on the ISS mission or whatever it was.
That's the best piece of footage in our lifetime.
They got some explaining to do.
They still haven't, but hey, we know what's up.
They're telling you, space is made in the Hollywood basement, and they got mice.
They got mice down there.
Absolutely. But all right, I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. Have anything else you want to say before we get out of here? It's been a good 2.5.
I am good.
No, I'm good. Just make sure everybody tunes in later tonight, 7:15 Central Time on my main channel, The True Seeker 69. I'm going to have Karen B, Cammie, Rose 777, Beth, and I'm not sure if Patricia Steer or anybody else is joining, but definitely those 4 ladies will be with
Oh,
me.
girl power.
Yeah.
Nice. There you go.
I'll be
The
watching.
Bitches Brew, casting crew.
Put a link for that in the chat. Put a link for
I
that.
will. Yeah, I'll do it now.
That's good stuff. But yeah, that was a good show, guys. If anyone wants to like, share, if you don't want to, it's okay. But as I say, subscribe True Seeker 69. Check out that show later. Bobby, he's got a link somewhere. He's probably going to drop in the chat. Check him out. And hopefully we can do this again in the next couple of days. That'd be great. Maybe maybe tomorrow, or even what's tomorrow? Monday, maybe Tuesday. So that'll be good. And if anyone wants to donate to PayPal, the link is there in the chat. So there's that. But yeah, everyone just be safe, be smart, put your faith in God and Jesus Christ, and you'll find the truth, I believe. There's so much deception going on in this world, guys, that the grand illusion isn't just one thing. It's everything that's happening from here on out. So just be on point, be on guard, and just stay in the word of truth. And that's all I got. I'm out of here.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you guys too. We are gone.
When I was a youngster, I never knew the world was so cold. Now I see this place for what it is as I grow. Okay, yeah. ODD. Nothing in the world compares to being a kid. I remember growing up and all the things that I did. Being bad, getting into trouble. Clothes soaking wet cause I was stomping in a puddle. Playing with my friends had my day gone. It was time to go inside when the lights came on. Dirty as could be when I came in from the street. But dinner's on the table and I'm ready to eat. Just me and my mom and my crazy brother. Daddy wasn't there, but that just made us tougher. I didn't even ask why my father left. Mother's love was enough and I was always blessed. She was beautiful and young and she was kinda wild. And the world got brighter every time she smiled. Nothing was able to take the magic away. I really miss how things used to be back in the day. When I was a youngster, I never knew the world was so cold. Now I see this place for what it is as I grow. I remember when I was a kid, things were much different. Everything was great, everything was so innocent. I didn't have a clue and I was happy to be ignorant. Full of so much energy, passion and bewilderment. Didn't have the internet, didn't have an Instagram, didn't have a Facebook, really didn't give a damn. Whenever I was bored, I'd go outside and play. I wasn't glued to a phone the entire day. But as I grew older, my life grew harder. The days grew colder, the nights grew darker. Everything they taught in school and all the things I thought I knew really had me tripping when it all turned out to not be true. Then I turn on the news and they lie and they lie. It has me thinking to myself, hell, why should I try? I miss the good old days, feeling fine in my youth. Now I spend every second I have fighting for truth. When I was a youngster, I never knew the world was so cold. Now I see this place for what